Mr. Judge, what's up? Yeah. I did like it. I did like it. I watched it last night before I fell asleep. No. I watched it today. I watched it today before I took a nap with my kids. Oh, Mr. Judge, what's up? Yeah. So, um, channel yesterday. Shout out to this channel because she gave me a shout out. I didn't even know she watched me. I frequently watch this channel, but I keep forgetting the name of it. What's the channel name? Lady Luck Club. Lady Luck Club. Shout out to Lady Luck Club. She did a great live stream last night on Umar Johnson and the case that he had against Lenon. So we're going to go over that, and we're going to go if I can get Trip C's up here when she gets time to come up. Um, some information that was sent to me a few days ago that I was supposed to do, but I just been relaxing the last couple of days, and my son woke up throwing up like the Exorcist this morning, so I've been dealing with that. And excuse me for the clutter, the mess in the back. They was in here playing on my goddamn desk and got a whole bunch of shit everywhere. Technology call. Okay. Yo, you know what's funny? I asked AI to take a picture of me, or take one of my pictures and make it. What would it look like if I was biblical, right? Guess what this motherfucker did to me? I said, I told the AI, make a biblical picture of me. And this is what it came up with. This is what it came up with. hold on. I think I can get it on here. Hold on. Let me get it on here. This shit is hilarious. AI keeps making me Jesus. I don't have Jesus features, but somehow, some way, it keeps taking my pictures, and I just want to see what I would look like in biblical times. It keeps making me Jesus. I think I got to be more specific on what I want. But this is what it did to me. No, it made me Jesus. Look, they put the crown on my head and everything. They put the crown on my head and everything. I said, wait a minute, I don't have brown. My eyes aren't that brown. Second of all, I took the picture when I had a beard. It's just a random picture that Nico, what's up, sis? A random picture that I just used. And this motherfucker, this AI made me Jesus. Took my dreadlocks, made them curly, and gave me curly hair. Gave me a white beard, white hair. And I'm like, dude, what the hell is going on here? That's like the umpteenth time I asked AI to do something with a picture, and this motherfucker made me Jesus. I do not have Jesus' features. Maybe with the beard, sometimes my kids say, "Daddy," when I grow my beard out, they like, "Daddy, you look like the black Jesus," and I keep telling them Jesus was black. And they was like, My daughter be arguing with me to the death. She'll argue with you to death. He white. No, Jesus was black. He white. No, they lying. So when she gets older, I'm explaining to her because she doesn't understand the region of which where he came from and where he was. Uh, but make sure y'all hitting that like button as y'all come in, family. Manny, shout out to Manny. He sent me some information on Umar getting escorted off the premises of that school he got fired from. Sorry for the mess, man. Like I said, my kids is back here fiddling with my shit, and they fucked everything up back there, and got my shoes everywhere. They was running around in my shoes. Oh God, I gotta clean this room up. But Yeah, shout out to Lady Luck TV, man. I didn't even know she watching. I didn't even know she knew who I was. Like a lot of people are starting to know who I am, and I did not know. And these are people that I frequently watch. So to hear them say, "Yo, Rim Rum TV, what's up, man?" I'm like, "Yo, that's crazy." We're glowing up, man. We're glowing up. I think this little sector is all starting to. That's the one thing Umar does not want. This little sector is starting to. Everybody's starting to know each other and collaborate, and that's going to be a problem for a lot of people that we've been we've been going after, because it's one thing to have a bunch of channels like spread out that don't know each other or don't associate with each other, but it's a whole different ball game to have these people connect. To have these people connect, and that's when you get in trouble, because we share information, and then that's what happened to Young Pharaoh. People in the sector started gravitating towards over here, and we start connecting with other people and start sharing information with each other, and then still pieces of the puzzle get put together. Like they may know something that I don't know, I may know something that they know, and then when that information comes together, all the pieces start to mend together, and then you start to get a whole timeline. So shout out to Lady Luck TV, man. We're gonna go over that. She did a great live last night. I was in tune like a motherfucker. I was in the chat for like a couple minutes, but I was watching, and she did a hell of a job last night. She had me cracking up the whole entire live stream. So we're gonna go over that, and then we're gonna when Trip C's get time, she's gonna come up here and she's gonna read off that and get her to read off the information, because she's a more fluent reader than I am. She's very fluent with her reading. Me, I'm what's that word right there? I can't see. I can't. What's that word right there? Nah, ain't it. Trip C's is a very more frequent reader than I am. So yeah, both trying to unite, and we definitely lit. Manny, what's up, big bro? You right, Nick? We lit. We glowing up, man. We glowing up. To have information, man, over here, I was like, oh, that's crazy. These are people that I admire. I don't like look up to anybody on YouTube except Trip C's. I always looked up to her. She took me right under her wing and showed me the ropes. And whenever I'm doing something wrong or something that could jeopardize my channel, she's there to stop me. So I'm always gonna look up to her as a big sister. But it's people that I admire and see. I look at their channel and their format and how they do things, especially information. Man, his show is bomb. Like his whole setup is. Wait till I get this shit together. I'm telling you. Y'all remember my setup in the beginning when I had the house. Y'all remember that setup? That shit was crazy. Go back to the beginning. Go back if you want to know what my setup looked like back then. Go all the way back to the beginning of my videos. You'll see how great my setup was. Rex, what's up, good brother? Um, Francis, peace and welcome. All right, let me drop this intro, and we're gonna get started.
MIG going crazy.
I've been out of my body, but I've been doing fine. I've been stacking my cash, I'm working overtime. Taking drugs, I told my twin go pull another line. I've been praying to my God that all my kidneys fine. Stacking money, stay ready, this life shit not a race. In the real nigga category when they nominate. Been a hustler since birth, I cannot just jog in place. Yeah, my aura's so big, it be hard to hide my face. Ain't no checking me, I'm super fly, no catching me. I be trying to stay up on my grind, bad bitches testing me. Old friends getting mad, I leveled up, they ain't getting next to me. Some shit we don't get to choose, and this rap shit is my destiny. Pour it up and I sip, just spilled lean up on my kicks. Took a Canadian to the trench, she got out with different kind of stitch. I do shit that these niggas wish, took a nigga bitch and fucked her in the whip. These niggas hating, I don't even trip. Dripping on a hater, I be seasick. Coming for it all, trying to get paid. Know I'm from the trenches, you ain't crime paid. Gotta thank God he had my days. Stay up ballin' route like Jamar Chase. Take it to the top like I'm dead rough.
What's up with your family? It's your boy, the one and only Brenda's baby, Remy. You are now tuned in to Rim Rum TV. Make sure y'all like, share, hit that notification bell. Make sure it's on all so you can be alerted and notified whenever I'm dropping this heat. Today, we're going over Lady Luck Club live stream that she did last night. She highlighted Umar's lawsuit against Lenon, and it was the most frivolous shit I've ever seen in my life. It was so stupid. Um, and then we're going to go over some information that Manny sent me. But before we get started, I have a special announcement from Little Remy. And for those of you who don't know who Little Remy is, if you grew up in the 90s, you know that Penny Hardaway had a little mascot called Little Penny. Well, this is Little Remy.
Do what the Lord wants you to do.
There are those of you who realize that Brother Marcus Garvey and Brother Frederick Douglass and Brother Umar want you to give generously to DMG. So people ask, why come the school ain't open? Huh. Why come Umar got all his shit shacked up in that gym? Huh. Why come Umar say hit the PayPal, hit the Cash App, but ain't opening the school? Don't ask, I said. Don't ask, I said.
Don't ask no questions. Just give the money. Look, nigga, get the collection plate right on that side. Nigga, get it around on that side.
You better be careful there, little buddy. And that was Little Remy with a special announcement. Yeah, we're gonna get started. Shout out to Lady Luck Club. I like her setup too. Her setup is very professional too. Wait till I get mine, man. Y'all put mine to shame. But she did a great review last night, so we're gonna take a look at this. We're gonna skim through it because it's like 3 hours long, so we ain't gonna do the whole thing, but we're gonna skim through it and try to get most of it. We're gonna get the whole lawsuit though. So without further ado, let's go.
Channel. I always thought the channel was associated with Umar, but some people think Lenon runs it.
Yeah, I heard.
No, I don't think Lenon run that. Yeah, what Lenon does run is the only viable website for the school that routes to his YouTube channel. He bought the domain. So it's funny. First time
That's vicious. The fact that he bought that domain, that's crazy.
Found out that he actually bought the domain and it goes straight to his YouTube channel. But I highly doubt Lenon. It's so crazy. They connect Lenon with everything. No one knows who runs it. Nah, Lenon doesn't run that. Oh, okay. Shout out to you. All right, cool. And if he does it, then it's all good. But I do want to see this video. It's like almost 10 minutes long. So let's get to it. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button coming in and hit the 1. Like Lenon say, hit the 1 when you've hit that like button. Let's go.
When one of us hurts, all of us hurts.
Oh, this is
when one of us hurts, all of us hurts. And while we going through this, we got reactionaries in the Black community. While we going through this, we got reactionaries in the Black community trying to silence the warriors of the community. And the founder of Black Lives Matter Pittsburgh, I don't know this
is when he was
but the founder of Black Lives Matter Pittsburgh tried to get me canceled from today's convention because I don't support rainbow ganging. What? And because I don't support rainbow ganging, she wanted me snatched from today's conference. I'm the foremost certified school psychologist for our people in this country.
Back that up. Where's your certification, Umar?
That's what I keep asking, bro. Like everybody keeps allowing this man to keep saying, I am this and I am that. And we have not yet to see a shred of proof or any evidence that any of these things are true. It's like when Pharaoh was calling himself the #1 healer, the #1 lawyer, the #1 this and the #1 that. Every other day, he was the #1 something. He was the #1 gamer. He was the #1 1% earner. He thought because this man really thought because he made $2 point something million, he thought that he was in the 1% earning. I don't think you understand what that 1% is, my nigga. That $1 million is not in the 1%. You got to be in the 100 million billion to be up there with them. They wouldn't even let you in the parking lot of their parties and facilities and stuff. You would not get in the door. If the 1% woke up with $1.2 million in their bank account right now, they jump off the nearest balcony that they could find. But he really thought that he was up there. But that's besides the point. There is no shred of evidence that Umar is these things that he keep claiming that he is.
Clown. You know what you're certified to do? Leap from one building to another. You ape shit. Where's the certification for your so-called school psychology? Where's the certification? The last time he had a certification was over 10 years ago.
And don't you gotta go back every 2 years because medicine and stuff change?
What?
You better be careful there, little buddy. Don't you gotta keep going to school? Especially if you're giving people diagnosis. Especially if you're giving people diagnosis, you have to continue to keep going to school because medicine changes. They're always coming out with new methods. They're always coming out with new medications. They're always coming out with new diagnoses. So for you to keep sitting here trying to diagnose people's children, and then you still have mothers asking you to come to the school and help them. I hope he's not. I hope he's not. You have to recertify every 2 to 3 years and renew your license. So how are you the foremost such and such, and your license is over? You don't have one. You literally do not have a license.
When is this video? How old is this video? Because his hair looks like it's fairly recent. You know, all that man unit up there and everything. Umar, if you're going bald, be bald. Even your beard looks fake. It's a whole unit. I've never.
And I noticed that the hairline is always in a different spot. Like his hairline is always in a different spot.
I've seen hair this thick, and it's like, where's the skin? If you know what a real beard looks like, you would automatically look at this and be like, "Nah, you don't even see down to the skin on this. It's just like it's poofed out of nowhere." He looks like he's a walking mold of clay, except he oozes chicken. Yeah, I'm on that today. Where's your certification, Umar?
I'm not coming to Pittsburgh to talk about rainbow ganging. I am not here to discuss rainbow ganging. I am here to talk about the state of Black Pennsylvania. I am here to talk about the state of Western Pennsylvania. I am here to talk about our brothers and sisters in Allegheny County, McKeesport, Penn Hills. I am here to talk about Black Pennsylvania. I don't have to agree with your lifestyle in order to breathe. I don't have to agree with your lifestyle in order to talk about Black children. I don't have to agree with your lifestyle.
I just want to remind you all, this is coming from the dumb black man that said he wanted to cuddle with little boys by the fireside while they're wearing their suits.
What?
You better be careful there, little buddy. Yeah, that's disgusting. When he said that, he said they will have long days and that they're going to stay with him at the school. They're going to have a dinner with him. He's going to dress him up in a suit, have dinner with him, and then cuddle with them by the fireplace. What the fuck? Why would you even use that term?
This is coming from the man, the ape, that goes to college campuses and records college girls' butts. This is coming from the man whom a court has said he is to be restrained away from his own child. And you don't see him talking about that and putting up a fight to go see his daughter.
23 people in the building. Make sure y'all hitting that
This
like
is
button.
all of that coming from this hypocrite.
In order to fight for my people.
Oh,
but you would dare try to get me canceled because I don't agree with your lifestyle? I don't have to agree with your lifestyle. Muslims don't agree with Christians, but that doesn't mean they wish harm against them. Democrats don't agree with Republicans, but that doesn't mean they wish harm against them. Communists.
And for those of you who don't know what he's talking about, he tried to bully his way into a Black Lives Matter speaking engagement, and that's what really happened. He thought that, he thought he big Papa Toonday, and he the number one psychologist, and he thought that he can just walk onto the thing and just be like, I'm taking a slot. I'm going up to talk. And they told him no. Because if you really think about it, if she didn't want you there, right, for the reason that you claim it is, why would she even book you in the first place? Everybody knows your stance on homosexuality. Everybody knows your preference. Everybody knows what you do, what you say, and what you talk about. Everybody knows. Why would she book you in the first place? Just to have you come up there and tell you no? That makes no sense, because you charge a fee. You charge them before they get there. So I'm pretty sure that they're not going to pay you to come just to tell you you can't come. No, that's not what happened. You thought that you was going to bogart your way onto their event, and they told you no. And you're butthurt because you thought that you was shit. You thought that you could just do that, and they told you no. You're not. We didn't book you.
Don't agree with capitalists, but that doesn't mean they wish harm against them.
Stop right there. At what point in human history has many people wished harm upon those who claim to be a communist? You understand, at one point in the United States of America, if you were even thought to be a communist, you were doxxed and harassed, you were charged, you were questioned, you were followed, you were spied. What the hell is wrong with him?
And also, you're right, Rex. Who the fuck is keeping track of who's the number one psychologist? Who the hell is keeping track of who's all the number one things that he say that he is, the most requested? Where are the stats? Who's keeping track of this shit? To tell you that you're the number one. Nobody. Not one person is keeping track of who's getting requested the most, who's the number one. How? My nigga, you have no patience. How can that's the funniest thing that just clicked in my head. How can you call yourself the foremost or the number one psychologist of anything and you have no patience? Like, you have no office to where you have patients come in, and you have no patience. So how the hell can you be the number one psychologist? I don't hear nobody saying, yeah, I got an appointment with Dr. Umar for some therapy. I've never heard anybody say I got an appointment with Dr. Umar for my kid for therapy. Have y'all? Just put yes or no in the chat. Have you ever heard anybody say, I have an appointment with Dr. Umar, which is not a doctor? It's illegal to call yourself a doctor now because the rule has been passed. Have you ever heard anybody say, yo, I got an appointment with Dr. Umar for my child for psychology? Just put yes or no in the chat.
So he has not read one history book, is what you're telling me? This is why, Umar, reading is fundamental. I don't know any point in history where someone who was even perceived to be a communist was not targeted.
Make sure y'all hit that like button, fam.
What the hell? I got to go back and hear this again.
harm against them. Communists don't agree with capitalists, but that doesn't mean they wish harm against them. What I find so hypocritical about your community, what I find so hypocritical about your community, Miss Black Lives Matter, what I find so hypocritical about your community is y'all preach tolerance. Y'all want everybody to be tolerant towards you. You want everybody to be tolerant about you, but you don't want to tolerate nobody else's opinion. You don't want to tolerate anybody else's perspective. Y'all don't want to tolerate what everybody else feels. Everybody's supposed to tolerate you. Everybody's supposed to sit down and just let you do whatever you want to do, but you don't want to sit down and let other people do what we want to do. Okay. I have never wished harm against your people, but you lied to the community. You lied to the community and said, I wished harm against your people. I have never wished death or destruction against your people, but you lied to the Pittsburgh community. You lied to the Pittsburgh community. You tried to...
You know, funny thing is, he's the biggest liar thus far in this entire equation. And although the Black Lives Matter, the founder, whomever bought a mansion and misused money, it seems like Umar is more jealous that he did not get that type of capital.
I said the same thing. Shout out to Lady Luck for that, because I said the same thing. That man just butthurt that they got that $90 million and they didn't cut him a check. That's all it is. You're mad that you wasn't a part of that. They ain't give you no dollars towards that. That's what you mad about. You're upset about that. Them people and them folks didn't give you nothing towards that. And you mad. I did hear the interview with him saying, I'm trying to build a school and they get $90 million. And Black Lives Matter got $90 million and I ain't even get a mill yet.
That Black Lives Matter garnered. That's what it sounds like to me. Sounds like you just being jealous.
Right.
Because he's the biggest con artist that has been scamming people for over 10 years on the aspect of a school he knows he will never open. Umar, you're not in any legal standing or moral standing to call someone a liar. All you do is lie. And then when you're confronted with information or even advice and help, you shut it down because you just want money. You know,
right.
Because those accounts you claim were frozen are still somehow still frozen. Now,
no, Lady Luck, he claims that they're open now. They suddenly opened up when the bills got paid. They suddenly just opened up with no explanation to why they closed them down. No, nothing. Oh wait, he got new accounts, and they never caught who was the fraud that was trying to hack the accounts or why it happened. There was no explanation for
it. You can't even say why. Funny how he's sitting here trying to shame anyone in the Black Lives Matter. I'm not even trying to justify what they have done wrong because they're now, a couple of them are actually in prison for it. But Umar, you can be just as liable for the scam you're running as they were and face the same judgment. Right. You know, because we have laws. Because
make them think that I'm a hater of your community. You tried to make them think that I was harm and destruction against your community. You are dishonest, you are disingenuous, and you are a hypocrite. I thought Black Lives Matter was for all Black people. I thought Black Lives Matter was for all Black people. I get it. Black Lives Matter is only for Black people who support rainbow ganging. Then say that and
Pan-Africanism is only for Black people that don't bunny hop. It's the same fucking thing, bro. You got the same prejudices. You have the same stipulations. It's just a different sex, a different race. You tell people that they can't be Pan-Africanists if they date white women. It's the same exact thing.
Stand on it. If Black Lives Matter is only for Black people who support rainbow ganging, then say that and stand on it. How dare you try to stop me from coming to Pittsburgh,
What?
a place where I've only been a handful of times? How dare you try to get me canceled from today's Black Health Inequity Summit? How dare you, with my credentials, my experience, my background, my expertise, how dare you try to get me canceled from today's convention because I don't agree with your lifestyle? I don't have to agree with you. Barack Obama doesn't dictate my political beliefs. Joe Biden doesn't dictate my political beliefs.
It's safe to say he has none. At least I can say I don't lean one way or the other. I'm for American. But I can admit that. He just hops on the bandwagon.
Right.
Whomever is going to give him more notoriety, help him get his name out there so he can continue to talk about, hit the PayPal and the Cash App, you know. PayPal.me/ who's coming for the prince or something like that. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I hit that one up because it doesn't exist. But hit it up anyway. It's just crazy. So if you don't stand for something, you fall for anything. Umar's a prime example of that. People aren't questioning him or challenging him about this money issue, and they fall for whatever he says because reasons. The audacity to sit here and to try to even shame someone else when you don't have clean hands yourself, Umar.
Black Lives Matter organization doesn't dictate my political beliefs. I have a right to feel how I feel. I have a right to think how I think. I have a right to be who I am, and nobody going to force me to accept anything that I consider to be a threat. Nobody's going to force me to accept anything that I consider to be a threat to the survival of the traditional Black family.
How can you say you never spoke bad on them or wish harm on them or whatever you just said, and then turn around in the same breath and call them a threat to the Black community? That's an oxymoron. That makes no sense. You're calling them a threat to the Black community and wonder why they don't want you at their event?
Let me be very clear.
Exactly.
I am a traditional Black family advocate. You are a non-traditional.
Stop.
Yeah, stop right
the
there.
lies you tell, you principal.
How can you call yourself a traditional advocate of a traditional Black family when you have no family? You just leave baby mamas all around Philly, bro. Probably around the world.
Pan crust pizza. How are you a traditional Black family advocate when you don't even spend time with your own kids? I'm sorry. When did you get married again? How many baby mothers do you actually have? Are we at number 4? Because I heard we're at number 4. And one of them you're just not even claiming. How is that the traditional Black family?
That's what I'm saying. How can you call yourself an advocate of a traditional Black family and you don't even have a traditional Black family? Do you know what traditional? You want 2 wives. Traditional is a wife, a husband, and children. Not 2, 3 wives. Not 2, 3, 4 baby mamas. It's a wife, a husband, and children. Wife, husband, man, son, daughter. Not wife, husband, baby mama, baby mama, baby mama, baby mama. Daughters everywhere. That's not a traditional Black family, bro.
You're not going to get what you want handed to you on a silver platter. First of all, no one should be considering marrying this clown, because if you do, you're going to be taking care of him like he's a child. And he doesn't even take care of his own mother. And I get to say that right now because we don't even know what's going on with her. But to him, the idea of him thinking he's some sort of a family man, and he doesn't even want to be bothered with his own children, and a court had to restrain him through an order away from one of the 4 that he has, is unbelievably hypocritical. And he's lying through his teeth. Traditional black family advocate. Are you kidding me? This is coming from the man that said he wants to cuddle with boys by the fireside. Yeah, this is my first time watching this. I think you Anonymous said that this was old, but this was it was posted up 2 weeks ago. I don't know how old this is, but this is something else. That's why I say there's so many videos I have yet to discover, because he doesn't know how to stay off social media. But you know, Umar, just keep on talking. We don't want you to go anywhere. Yes, I'm going to keep making content on you and calling your ass out every time you do a video. Yep, absolutely.
Let me be very clear. I am a traditional black family advocate.
Yeah,
you are a non-traditional black family advocate, and that's all right. I'm a traditional black family advocate, man, woman, child. You are a non-traditional black family advocate, and that's all right. We can agree to disagree, but I will never try to get you banned. I will never try to get you censored. I will not go behind your back and spread lies against you just because I don't agree with you like you did me. Miss Black Lives Matter, Pittsburgh.
Information Man Show, shout out to you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Good to see you guys. Of course, I'm going to make sure that you guys are hitting that like button. Everybody speak to everybody, engage in the chat. And yes, my mind is just as blown away as you all are. Even if you've seen this before, it's just astounding to hear the hypocrisy and the lies and the buffoonery coming out of his mouth with ease. This man is a pathological liar. It's so crazy. I don't even think he cares whether or not he's lying at this point. As long as some fool out there is willing to believe it and still give him money, he's going to keep doing this. Now, I wish he would try to lie like this in a court of law in front of a judge, though. Umar, why do you become a coward when it comes to matters of law? When you're summoned to go to court, why all of a sudden do you become a coward? He would never say this in front of a judge. No.
And the crazy part is that's why he bounces around all the time. He bounces around all the time because he doesn't want to get a court summons. That's why he doesn't have a permanent address. That's why he doesn't have anywhere to stay. I don't think he wants a permanent address so he can't get summoned to court. Because if you have a permanent address, they can find it and they can summon your ass to court. And that's why he doesn't have none of the workers or anybody that's there taking care of his mom open the door so he can't get a summons.
Some crazy shit right here. Shout out to Information Man Show. Thank you so much. If I have anybody that can drop the link to his channel in the chat.
Shout out to the Information Man
as well
Show.
as Black Anonymous. Let's see. I want to make sure I cover all of the supporters, the content creators up in here. We do not want to overlook you, the informant media. Let's see.
See, that's why I like channels like her. She sees other content creators in the chat and she gives them a shout out. She directs them to the channel. That's how it's supposed to be. That's what everybody is supposed to be doing. If you see other content creators in there, especially that you like or you watch, you shout them out. I may not put the link in the channel to your chat. I don't really know how to do all that extra shit. But I will shout you out. And I will ask someone else or ask you to put your link in the chat.
I just want to make sure I got y'all in here. I know it's Sunday afternoon. People are, getting ready for work this week and getting the kids ready for school. So I appreciate you all tuning in. Hit that like button and hit a 1 once you've hit that like button. Jay Witt wants me to stay on top of that, and I'm going to do it. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. All right, let's get back to this blubbering whale.
That's another person.
You were wrong,
Jay,
sister.
I think his name
You were dead wrong for condemning my name, trying to shame me. trying to repudiate and reject me. I do not
Wait,
have
what
to
happened?
agree
Hold on,
with
hold on,
your
pause. Wait, what happened? Hold on. I know y'all not in there arguing in the chat. Come on, man. We got one objective, Umar. Not arguing with each other. Come on, man. But this is a family chat, and everybody in here should be getting along. I don't, like I say, I don't take sides. I go back way back with a lot of people in the chat, so I'm not taking nobody's side. All I'm saying is, please stop arguing in the chat. The goal is Umar. Our focus is Umar. I don't want you guys arguing in the chat.
lifestyle. The United States of America gives you a right to rainbow gang. And so I must tolerate your right to rainbow gang. But I do.
Let me tell you something. And yes, I have to pause this because lies like that are very dangerous.
Very dangerous.
We have anti-discrimination laws for a reason. What law gives him the right to do anything with gangs?
That like button.
What law? This is coming from the clown that dodges a summons to go to court. Dodges service.
Dodges everything.
This is coming from the same clown that refused to go to the court to find out what was going on with the writ of monition. This is the clown that's sitting here talking about the United States Constitution. He didn't name not one amendment.
Not one.
Gives him the right to do something involving gangs. Unfucking believable. What law? What law?
I love her breakdowns because she always catch things that I didn't catch. He ain't named not one amendment that she always catch things that I don't catch. In my bag, I got my camera off. I got the baby with me. She only in her diaper, so I can't have the camera on right now.
Which constitutional right or amendment or law gives you the right to do that, Umar? We'll wait. Drop the law. I want the statute code. Give me the U.S. statute code. I want the amendment. I want law. I want evidence.
Not have to agree with it. Traditional black family advocate right here. Where are my traditional black family advocates at? Where are all my traditional black family advocates at? If you are a traditional black family advocate, you have to stand on your square and not let these European financed Negroes in our community. No European financed Negro is going to come and try to silence King Kong consciousness. I'm the main one helping our parents save our children, not you. Not you.
What are you doing to help save these children besides taking money out of these children's parents' pockets? You're actually hurting the children because they're giving you money that they could be spending on their children. They're wasting their time if they do bring their children to you and losing cases instead of taking them to a real psychologist with an actual factual license. What are you actually doing to help the kids? And I noticed that a lot of these motherfuckers use black children as an scapegoat or an argument to say that they're doing something for them. I remember Hassan Campbell used to do that a lot too. I'm for the youth. And he uses it as an excuse to go at people. Oh, Jim Jones is misleading the children. And meanwhile, he telling people he gonna knock them out and take their butt. Like, bro.
I got receipts.
How has he done that? Oh, he got receipts. Oh shit! I just paused this too early. Let me go back a little bit. Hey, let's see these receipts he got. Because reasons. And
like Lady Luck said, and like Lenon like to say, hit the number one after you hit that like button. So I know you hit the like button.
A term he can't define, but he's got it. Umar spell receipts.
Not you. I got receipts to prove my worth and my work. I got receipts to prove my worth in my work. I didn't come here for no drama, but I'll be damned if I'm going to be bullied by any European financed Negro. You must be out of your mind. Who do you?
First of all, where are the receipts? You said you got receipts. Let's start with the school website, because that's a receipt. Where is the school website? What is the link to the school website, Umar? Receipt number one. Receipt number two. Who are the vendors that are allegedly doing work on these school buildings to renovate them? Name the vendors. You know, I'm still waiting on James to email me this stuff. Trust me, I'm not holding my breath.
Well, I do you one even better. Name a child that you have helped. Show a video of you helping a child. Give us a name of one child that you have actually helped. Just one. Give me one. Give me one. Show me a video, something. Because the only child we know that you claim that you helped, you didn't help them. You actually lost the case. And the fact that you keep saying that you're doing that, you're just giving more evidence for the people to come lock you up, because you're not supposed to be doing that. You're not licensed. So you shouldn't be diagnosing or giving any parents any type of psychological information, especially for their children.
Because I already know that his supporters just either reading it goes beyond their head, so they're just delusional and they don't have any receipts and they know it. So they just talk shit until they come across the right person. But where are the receipts, Umar? Where are the receipts? I want the receipts. Post up the link to the school website. Well, how did you spend the money again? Because you have no expenses listed on those tax forms. Why are you listed as executive director? I thought you was the big boss in charge. You're no different than a director within a department within a company. How much you make a year, Umar? What's your job? He wants receipts.
Bro, winners, what's up?
We want a receipt of who exactly paid those fees from the writ of monition. We see what's in the court docket. Well, where's the receipt that the individual who signed the check or gave them the money order or whatever method they used to pay, all of that money you owed? Where's that receipt? We'll wait.
You think I am? You can't control me with slander. You can't control me repudiation. You can't control me with denigrating my name. I want everybody to know Black Lives Matter Pittsburgh control me with denigrating my name. I want everybody to know Black Lives Matter Pittsburgh chapter president tried to get me canceled. I don't even discuss rainbow affairs unless I'm asked about it.
I highly doubt this is the only reason why he believes or what happened with him being allegedly canceled. Clearly, you're not canceled because you're doing a video and you're still collecting money on a school that will never open. So if that's not a sign that you're not canceled, I don't know what is. Y'all see how he speaks in circles and says nothing at all?
Rainbow Nation is not my priority.
Oh, God.
The Rainbow Nation is not my priority. I'm repping for the 2 billion Africans of the planet Earth. I'm repping for the 2 billion Africans of the planet Earth. I'm repping.
We, the humans of planet Earth, would love for you to return to your home planet in the Ewok. You don't need to represent us doing anything.
Please.
I think the entire continent of Africa.
And the thing about it is, to be a representative for a race, that race has to vote you as their representative. To be the leader of something, the people have to put you there. Like Martin Luther King, he didn't want to be a leader. You notice all the great leaders never really wanted to be a leader in the beginning. Martin Luther King didn't want to be a leader. Malcolm X didn't want to be a leader. He was put there. I don't trust niggas that want place themselves as leaders. From the history of black leaders, every leader that has placed himself as a black leader has been nothing but a scam artist, in my opinion.
I would love for you to leave their name out of your mouth. You're not representing anyone, because unlike you, most of us have a job and we take care of our children. This is unbelievable. He said he's representing 2 billion Africans on planet Earth. Of the planet Earth. Y'all see this? Of the planet Earth.
I'm repping for the 2 billion Africans of the planet Earth. I'm repping for the 2 billion Africans of the planet Earth.
Of the planet Earth.
And guess what?
Like a true alien.
I don't support violence against nobody. And I ain't got a problem saying that.
Do I need to play the videos where you're sticking your hardcore cult like base and when people to have that?
That's a huge lie. You projected violence on with that 10% that you said for good. You said they gotta be put to sleep for good. 10% of the black community. That's what you said. What about the little boys that you said you was going to discipline them? You didn't say you was going to give them any punishment. You said you were going to physically discipline these young men. You said you was going to blow their chests away. That's what you said. And you're going to kidnap them and not let them go home.
Them cyber harass docs, and for some of them to roll up on your ops.
Right.
You want to talk about seeking out violence? Why are you doxing people? Because they disagree with you and they're calling you out on your bullshit. Why are you issuing out slap suits against Marianne Lorian? $500,000. Why are you sitting here doxing Lenon and his wife and kids? Why are you giving out people's address and then telling dumb idiots who could be co-conspirators easily in an investigation to go after someone and giving the address?
Right.
You don't condone violence, Umar.
You was trying to get their home address and work address. Now I've seen Lenon expose a lot of things about you, but the one thing I've never seen him do was expose your address, your mother address, your children's address. Never. And I'm pretty sure he has the resources to get all that information, but I've not once seen him try, even though you've been doing that to him.
You void. You are a walking void. You know what? He's an alien. He does not belong on our planet, and I wish his home planet would come and reclaim him real quick.
I don't support violence against nobody. That's right. That's right.
He is on something.
I don't support murder unless it's for murder and sex abuse and child.
What?
That's right. You have a right to live.
My bad. You said 10% of the little boys, the little black boys on the corner need to be put to sleep for good. That's murder. That's actually genocide. That's more than murder. You want to genocide your own community.
You have a right to work. You have a right to a decent life. Nobody's stopping that.
Hello?
But marriage for me is between a man and a woman. You want to call me names because I believe marriage is between a man and a woman? You want to call me names and repudiate?
Yes, you heard what you just said, you doofus? A man and a woman. Not a man, a woman, woman, and woman. You the one who want 2 wives. But see here, it say marriage is between a man and a woman.
Me and slander me because I believe marriage is between a man and a woman, then you go ahead and do that. Then you go ahead and do that.
He's a fool.
It is stand, overstand, and understand. It is stand, overstand, and understand.
He sounds like one of those sovereign citizens that claims to be Moroccan, even though they are in the wrong country, and the country of Morocco would never claim them either. And understand, understand. That's what soft sit say in court when they're asked by the judge, "Do you understand what it means to represent yourself as pro se?" "No, I don't understand. I overstand it." Oh, okay, whatever. This is ridiculous. Shout out to all of you all tuning in. Thank you so much. Umar. Yes, Moorish. Thank you, Redemption. That's what he sounds like. Umar. Black Anonymous said Umar doxed his child's mother and grandmother.
In her restaurant.
He won't stop doxing people. He doxed the Lene Stacks.
He doxed his baby mother's restaurant too. But all that did was bring her more business.
Unbelievable. Thank you, Norman Richmond. When you guys come in, make sure you are hitting that like button and engaging in the chat. Everybody speak to everybody. Thank you so much for your support, for tuning in. This man is still doxing people. He doxed his child's mother and grandmother. You can't make this shit up. They need to start suing him and report him to the FBI so they can have some indictment charges drop on his ass. This is getting out of control with the doxing. Whom are you doing that, and for what? For what? No one needs to know where your mother lived. We just want to see that she's alive and healthy and happy, somewhat. We just want to know if she's alive. Let's start with that. We don't need to know exactly where she lived. We want you to put her on video, and we want you to stop restricting her whole life and allow her to be a grown adult who has the right to see her children and grandchildren. You want to be a deadbeat? You do that on your own. Why are you forcing your mother to be alienated from her other children? And you got the audacity to dox your child's mother and grandmother?
That's the worst kind of
nigga.
That's the worst kind of nigga, bro. That's the worst kind of nigga that you can. And I want y'all to think about this. Why would you think that he cares about the black community or anybody of the black community? Don't come in the camera. Anybody of the black community. Look at the way he treats his family. Look at the way he treats his children. Look at the way he treats his baby mothers. All the people around him that he's supposed to love most. Look at the way he treats them. And you really think that he cares about your child? Nigga don't even give a damn about his own kids. You really think that he gives a damn about your son? You really think he gives a damn about your daughter? You gotta miss me with that. You gotta miss me with that. 33 people in the building. Make sure y'all hitting that like button. And like she said, make sure y'all engaging in the chat, because that's what gets the motion in this channel. So make sure y'all engaging with each other and engaging in the chat and hitting that like button. That's all I ask. If anybody want to support the channel, the Cash App and PayPal is at the top of the chat. Most importantly, hit that like button. Share this video.
And understand.
And through a stand and do a stand and
never tried to cancel anybody from the Rainbow Nation. But people from the Rainbow Nation stay with my name in your mouth. I have no control over how you live your life, nor am I worried about it. I have no control over how you live your life, nor am I worried about it. But for you to be so selfish.
Bro, if the rainbow community really wanted you, bro, you be out of here. Look how many celebrities they canceled. Do you really think that if they really wanted and had an issue with you, you would still be around? The rainbow community is not tolerating any bullshit. You see what they did to the baby. You see what they did to all these people that stood against them. Where are they now? That's what I don't get. These niggas swear, and they love to do this. They gotta play the victim of something, so it looks like they're fighting for something. Anybody get what I'm saying? They need a bad guy. There's always with these guys. There's always constantly going to be a bad guy. So they look as though that they're fighting some type of fight. They're fighting some type of war. That's what people love to see. And so he's always going to victimize himself, make it look like he's being oppressed by somebody, and he's fighting against oppression and being oppressed. He's full of shit. Max, what's up?
Yeah, you know, because she's racking, Black Lives Matter was racking in that money, about the tens of millions of dollars. You know, how else is she being selfish, Umar, if it's not about the finances? This blubbering idiot is sitting here calling someone selfish, and he's the one walking around with animal intestines in a Ziploc bag.
You know what? Yeah, that's crazy. That right there is crazy.
What?
You better be careful there, little buddy. That right there is ridiculous. That's just mind blowing right there. But you know what I think it was though? You know what I think he butthurt about? I think she might be on something. Something just clicked. What if he tried to show up to that Black Lives Matter joint rally, get in there, speak, and think that he was going to get a donation from them? That's what that ties into what I was saying earlier. I think he thought he was going to get a cut of that Black Lives Matter. He thought, oh, you know what? Let me go up to their event, say a few words, see if I can get a donation from Black Lives Matter. And they said, and he hurt his ego.
To be so selfish to try to get me canceled from an event that needs my information, needs my expertise,
no, they don't.
Needs my advocacy, needs my activism. That is selfish.
You see how you keep using the word selfish, and that event needed me. If it needed you, why didn't they book you? You know, I noticed not one time did he say they booked me for this. Like, if you get booked for an event, don't you think that's something that you would want to mention? Yo, they booked me for the event and didn't allow me to speak. He's just saying you're trying to get me canceled from it. You're trying to get me canceled. You're selfish. The fact that he keeps using those terms lets me know that he wanted a piece of that money, and they wouldn't give him none. He thought that he was going to go up to that event, bogart his way in, and probably ask for a donation, and they told him, you got to go. You can go sit in the audience if you want, but other than that, you got to go.
Basically saying, Black people should not benefit from Dr. Umar because he doesn't support this lifestyle. That is selfish.
That's not what they
you do nothing for Black people in general, but take their money. And above all, if you have wealthy donors and sponsors that are willing to give money over to help this school come to fruition, why are you turning it down and then expecting struggling Black families?
And I think that's what it is too. He probably, not only did he probably thought that he was going to get some donations from them, he probably thought that he was going to get to cut in on their donors too. Oh, let me get into their thing and say a few words and mention the school and what he's trying to do and cut in on their donations and what they're getting. He wanted a piece of the pie. He thought that he was going to cut in on their shit, and they told him, hell no. I say hell to the no. Dude, what's up? Hey, dude, what was that comment the other day you left? I saw it. Talking about we getting small over here. I've been chilling. I see you blowing up a little bit. Oh, dude, what was the comment for, bruh? I thought we was locked in.
Most of them single parents, to fund your entire lifestyle and the school. You're putting a strain on the people, the very few people that are still giving you money. You're asking people for money for yourself personally at this point, lying about accounts being frozen. And you're mad that BLM figured it out? This is absolutely asinine.
That's all it is.
Selfish. That's like a Muslim saying the Christians shouldn't come help the black community because they Christian. I don't try to stop y'all from doing what y'all do. If you think you helping out people, then do you.
What's going on, Miss Max?
Then do you. I've never went anywhere and tried to get a rainbow ganger canceled. For what? For what? I ain't never tried to get y'all canceled for nothing. I simply disagree with the lifestyle, but you want to stop me from coming to Pittsburgh. This is King Kong Consciousness coming to you.
Yeah, coming to everybody from planet Mars. What an idiot.
Idiot.
Umar, you realize no one cares about how you feel. Umar can't answer basic questions. Okay, so this is the video that Black Anonymous sent. And I want to go through this. You said this is the one where he turned away. Hold on. Is this the one where he turned away the social worker? Let's check this out because I know more than likely I haven't seen it. All right, let's get to it. Shout out to Black Anonymous, by the way. Thank you for sending me the link to this video.
Your family. Welcome back to the family. Gospel 1440 AM, WMKM.
Umar Johnson, better known as Dr. Umar Johnson. I just wanted to remind everyone what Stand Up Now is all about. Stand Up Now is an organization about integrity, informing, educating. Stand up now. Think about that. Stand up now for what is right. Stand up now for truth. Stand up now. And we all must stand up now. I do believe that we do have Umar Johnson on the line. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
All is well. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate you and LaDonna. So make sure to tell LaDonna, and I hope she's listening, that we thank you. Dr. Umar, tell us a little bit about who it is that you are, for those of us who don't know.
Certainly. I'm Dr. Umar Johnson. I'm a certified school psychologist and certified school principal. I'm in private practice here in Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, where I evaluate children for special education disability determination. I work with charter schools, public schools, superintendents, principals, special ed attorney advocate groups. I'm founder of my very own advocate group, the National Independent Black Parent Association. I am a blood relative of the great Frederick Douglass. I'm former of Marcus Garvey's movement.
Every last thing that he just said was a complete and total lie. A complete and total lie. What group did you start? When have you been? We've already proven that you are not related to Frederick Douglass. You don't have your license in psychology. You're not a licensed principal. You're not a licensed anything. They proved that in court already.
Personal Improvement Association, and I am also.
See, he already lied about. Okay, so this is definitely older because he was lying about being related to Frederick Douglass. Okay, so Anonymous said, no, this is when he was being interviewed by a woman in Detroit. Oh, okay. I hear him lying about the Frederick Douglass thing, so it must be older one. I haven't even seen this. Hey, Raven said he's not a certified psychologist, but offering his service to Nikki for clout. That's what's so crazy, and it's dangerous too. Because if he's not certified at this point, you know, you're trying to diagnose someone, that's almost like providing some level of treatment.
That's totally illegal. You cannot give no diagnosis on anything. 38 people in the chat, make sure y'all hit that like button. Just straight lying, man. What's up, good brother? Just straight lying.
And he's not certified or licensed to do that.
Not certified.
He's the lead and head grip. Exactly, them folks. By Baba David. Is BS. Like, oh my God. So I don't know who the radio host is. But does she still support Umar at this point? You let me know in the chat. Let me know.
I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt and say that she probably don't even know, but it's common sense. 10 years with that school, just that alone.
The book, Psychoacademic Holocaust,
Cynthia Johnson.
Special Education, and ADHD Wars Against Black Boys, which is the only book ever written by a Black school psychologist specifically to Black parents with detailed strategies on how they can effectively advocate for their children in public and charter schools.
Wow, that's a mouthful. And I'll tell you that I've been listening to you for a very long time. And I want to say that you are smart. What is it on what's that movie? You is smart, you is intelligent, and you are loved here. But before we go on with the show, Dr. Umar, I don't know how much research you've done on me, but everyone that I have on my show, I try my very best to do as much research on them as I can. And speaking of you, and you're an incredible,
Umar, not African
we
at
have
all.
incredible people throughout our country. Black folks are just some of the most smart, if not the smartest people I know. But when I did my research, Dr. Umar, I did not find any college that you attended. What college did you attend to get your doctorate?
So she did do some research on that thing. She said, I did not find not one college that you attended. Not one.
Degree. And what year?
Shit.
Sure, I'll answer that question. But let me first say this. There is no law that requires anyone's degree to be published online. So you may not see my information online, but you may not see the information for a lot of scholars online. I earned my undergraduate degree.
If you consider yourself to be a public figure, yes, you do.
Yes, you do.
No one told you to go out into the spotlight and to show your narcissism to the world. You chose to do that.
If you claim that you are a certified psychologist, you have to show the degree. And there you go with the deflection. Instead of answering the question, he smoke bomb, Batman, ninja vanish.
So now, yeah, if you're considering yourself a public leader of some sort or public figure, yeah, you need to tell people where you went to school, especially if you're talking about I'm a certified school psychologist.
Right.
That's standard. You're out here trying to purport yourself to be certified in psychology with children, and you don't want to show your degree. So now you're ashamed of it, Umar. Why are you mad that we got your dissertation then? You see how hypocritical this is already?
Psychology and political science from the Millersville University.
I get mad about the dissertation.
What's the name of it?
Millersville University of Pennsylvania. I earned my school psychology degree also from Millersville University. And I earned my master's degree from Lehigh University in educational leadership. And I earned my sixth degree, my fifth and sixth, a master's and doctorate in clinical psychology from the Philadelphia College of Osteopathic Medicine. 6 degrees in all. Not that that should matter because it's my work that counts, not my education, but that
it does matter.
All right. And under the...
I'm glad he said all of that because if I can get dissertations on every single last one of these.
Batman, smoke bomb. It doesn't matter about my work. Anybody who actually has a degree would never say anything like that. Anybody with an actual degree would never say anything like that.
Schools, then I will. Absolutely. I mean, when we look you up, you should have 6 degrees with the colleges next to it and have proof that you attended the school and completed the degrees program. Because so far, your dissertation for that doctorate degree at PCOM was a damn shame. It was an insult to read that. I felt like I lost brain cells.
Name of Umar Johnson. For those of us who want to check, let me just say this. I've been dealing with some things over the weekend, and I don't want, and there's been a lot of questions presented to me. So of course, when we have someone as distinguished as you, I know that you want our people to be involved, and not only involved, but to do their research. Would you agree?
I don't have a problem with that. My proof is in my pudding. It's not my degrees that make Dr. Umar Johnson. It's the work that I've done servicing our parents and children for the past 20 years.
And we appreciate that, Dr. Johnson.
If it wasn't your degrees, then why do you always bring them up? If your degrees don't matter in your work, then why are you always claiming you're the #1 certified psychologist and you're the foremost principal? And why do you always bring them up if they don't matter? You bring them degrees up more than anybody. And wouldn't you think that if a man that claims that he is certified in all these things, and you got the whole world doubting it. When you have done a video by now showing these certificates, you would think that that would put all that to rest, but he has not done that. You know, why do you think he never do that? Because I know if I had my degrees and stuff, and people were telling me I don't, I would have did a video showing every single certification that I had. But he tells you no, you gotta go look for
it. But still, we want to encourage our people, even when it comes to voting, to do their part, and that is to research those who are coming before us and talking with us. Do you agree with that?
I would agree partially. I would say the best way to learn somebody is to interact with them. And to that end, I will be in Detroit on Wednesday, December the 30th, speaking at the Shrine of the Black Madonna.
It's not answering the questions.
All your parents in Detroit to come out, learn who Dr. Umar Johnson is, but more importantly, get Dr.
Hold on.
Do you agree with that?
I would agree partially. I would say the best way to learn somebody is
people to be involved, and not only involved, but to do their research. Would you agree?
I don't have a problem with that. My proof is in my pudding. It's not my degrees that make Dr. Umar Johnson. It's the work that I've done, sir.
So why do you brag about the degrees? Why tell people you have 6 degrees if it's not the degrees that make you be the whatever you think you are in your alternate reality? Why even bring up the degrees? And I'm highlighting a comment here because Shine Bright said you don't need school to be educated. That can be true, but he's the one that's bragging about having 6 degrees. Exactly. If he was not the one out here saying this, no one would even be taking it seriously. But if you talk about when it comes to certain professions, when you're talking about being a child psychologist and you've obtained a doctorate degree, yes, you need to show proof that you are educated and trained and certified to be a child psychologist. So just keep that in mind. No, you don't need. You have a lot of smart, intelligent people that didn't even go to college. But because of what he claims he does for a living, you do need a degree for those certain fields. And then he's talking about he has 6 degrees. So naturally, he probably went to college and maybe to grad school to get the doctorate degree. But so far, that would be 3 reasonable degrees. Where are the other 3 coming from?
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's
time to get all
a separate major, minor. It's not a separate degree.
When there's not he didn't. The fact that he said that he was 20 years experience. He worked in the field for 20 years. Where did you have time to get all these degrees?
If you majored in psychology and minored in human health, you're not going to have a degree for psychology and then a separate degree for human health. Both your major and minor will be listed on that 1 degree.
Facts.
And this idiot is breaking down every major and minor he's had, or if he's done a dual major, and he's purporting it to be 2 separate degrees. And that's not how it works.
Facts.
And he went to college, so he knows that. Why in the hell is he saying he got?
I didn't even catch that. Shout out to Lady Love Club for catching that.
At 6 degrees. He went to Pecan. Yeah, it's the biggest con ever. Word salad. Yep. All right, y'all. Make sure y'all hitting that like button. 127 people watching. Thank you so much for tuning in. Put a 1 in the chat if you hit that like button and engage in the chat. Thank you so much.
And our parents and children for the past.
And we appreciate that, Dr. Johnson. But still, we want to encourage our people, even when it comes to voting, to do their part. And that is to research those who are coming before us and talking with us. Do you agree with that?
I would agree partially. I would say the best way to learn somebody is to interact with them. And to that end, I will be in Detroit on Wednesday, December the 30th, speaking at the Shrine of the Black Madonna. And I encourage all your parents in Detroit to come out, learn who Dr. Umar Johnson is, but more importantly, get Dr. Umar Johnson's information. There's a lot of people in our community who don't have my credentials, who receive far less criticism than I do. But yet and still, I would encourage them to come out get the information. I'm one of the few black male school psychologists in this country, and one of the even fewer black males who are going to teach them how to fight this system so they can protect their children from special education, unnecessary placement, juvenile placement, ADHD, psychiatric medication, expulsion. I can teach them how to read their child's psychological evaluations. I can teach them how to get their child an approved private school placement at district expense if they find that the school is not properly educating their children. So I come with
You know what's so sad? All of these things can be obtained by a Google search or talking to the actual resource, counselor in the school. This is stuff that how to read, the profile, the test results. Those things can actually be researched online.
Right.
So there's nothing that he does that's so special to where he doesn't want to disclose where he went to school. He doesn't want people to do their research, but he wants people to come and talk to him. For what? Part of getting to know who he is doing research. It's fact-checking the things that he says, especially when his field requires specific education, certifications, licensures, and degrees. Hell, you can talk to this idiot all day. Who knew he would walk around with animal intestines in his Ziploc bag and lie to everyone that he can lie to that will believe him? He put up a front for
That's a fact. She's spitting facts. She dropping bars.
over 10 years, and he's a walking pyramid scheme. Where's the school website again, Umar?
A repertoire of experience and history working with people who don't question who I am and what my degrees are. I will also be in Flint, Michigan.
The audacity.
Monday, January 18th, the big brothers and big sisters of Crater Flint invited me there to keynote their annual Martin Luther King Jr. mentorship breakfast. So I will be in Flint for the first time, January 18th. But of course, next Wednesday in Detroit, my first visit to Detroit since March or April. So I'm very much looking forward to it. I get tremendous support from the African community in Detroit. Last event was a sellout, so we're asking people to get there early to make sure they get a seat because seating.
Shine bright. There is nothing to support. He's not our modern day Malcolm.
Wow.
Malcolm at least got things actually accomplished.
Actually, they actually opened up programs and fed the needy and did things. You've seen Malcolm and Martin out there doing things. You don't see Umar doing shit.
There's nothing Umar has done to say he's accomplished something. The one thing he said he would accomplish with opening up a school, he has not done that.
Nope.
And I challenge Umar supporters. Listen, you come in the chat and engage, stay respectful. That's fine. We won't block you. But where is the school website? Same thing I asked the other one that came in the other day. Where's the school website? Why is he not listing expenses on the tax returns? How is this money being spent on vendors and contractors? Who are those vendors and contractors? Why won't he go through the entire school building or open it up to all his supporters and let people go in and film? Where's the school website? I always start with that. I never get that. I'm not here to get someone to not support. If people are going to support who they want to support, but you got to ask yourself, what exactly are you supporting at this point when you can't even get a school website? He's not a Malcolm X. I just have to disagree with that one.
Bars. She dropping bars.
That's a hell no. and Malcolm X was Muslim, so I don't even follow the same religion, but I still respect the person who actually did accomplish something and gave something to humanity.
Exactly.
Umar has not done that, and he continues to, bring in money off the backs of people who are living check to check, because he won't go to rich people and get them to give him money. Because why can't he get Charlemagne and Mark Lamont to give him money?
Because they're going to know, they're going to want them to see a plan. They're going to want to see a plan of action. They're going to want to know where the money's going. They're going to want to know all those details. And poor black folks don't ask that. They don't. They. Here we go. Lil Remy, explain to them why Umar goes to the poor black folks.
Do what the Lord wants you to do.
There are those of you who realize that Brother Marcus Garvey and Brother Frederick Douglass and Brother Umar want you to give generously to DMG. So people ask, why come the school ain't open? Huh. Why come Umar got all his shit shacked up in that gym? Huh. Why come Umar say hit the PayPal, hit the Cash App, but ain't opening the school? Don't ask, I said. Don't ask, I said.
Don't ask no questions. Just give the money. Look, nigga, get the collection plate right on that side. Nigga, get it around on that side.
You better be careful there with it, buddy. Because they don't ask no questions.
I'm just saying. You want to see him kiss his ass? Give him some money. They won't even do it. And these are two other black people that sit here and defend him for no reason.
No reason.
So, you know, no. Black Malcolm X.
It is about 400 feet, and we're almost there.
Tell us where the Shrine of the Black Madonna is. You're breaking up, Doctor.
7625 Linwood Street. 7625 Linwood Street. This is Shrine of the Black Madonna. Shrine number one. This is actually the original shrine from where the philosophy and ideology of Black Christian nationalism was created. And of course, I will be at the shrine in Atlanta 2 days prior on Monday, and the Shrine of the Black Madonna in Houston 4 days prior this coming Saturday.
And in January, you will be at Big Brothers, Big Sisters in Flint, Michigan.
Wait, let me get this straight. So a Pan-Africanist who doesn't believe in Christianity, that used to be a Muslim, is going to speak at a Christian shrine. Make that make sense.
What is the address there? And then give us the date again, please.
Okay. I don't know the address, but if anyone needs the contact information, they can email me for the contact information so they can contact the brothers and big sisters if they're interested in getting tickets. And my email address is drumarjohnson@yahoo.com. DRUMAR Johnson @yahoo.com. They can also email me to the website, drumarjohnson.com. So we have Wednesday, December 30th, Detroit, Shrine of the Black Madonna, 6 p.m. until 9 p.m. And then we have Monday, January the 18th, Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Flint, Michigan. And that will be a breakfast lunch program, so probably a 10 to 2. But in the evening in Flint, after the breakfast keynote, I will be doing a full free seminar for the entire Black community in Flint, Michigan on the psychoacademic war against Black boys and what they can do to fight back.
You know what, Dr. Umar, you don't skip a beat. All the questions I was asking you, you did not skip a beat, not one time. I admire you. But then I'm going to go right back to my question.
You didn't answer not one fucking question.
Sure.
And when you said in part, it matters if we verify and research. What did you mean by that?
I meant that anyone can make themselves look like something they're not online. When we talk about research, we're largely talking about internet searching.
Oh, like he does.
You make yourself look like someone that you're not on. What? You better be careful there, little buddy. My nigga, you do that. With these fucking 6 degrees, and I'm the #1 psychologist, and I'm the most requested, all that jibber jabber you do. That's you. Projection. You are projecting.
And so in doing that, again, anyone can present themselves as something they're not. How often have we read about people online and then met them?
Yeah, that's exactly what you do, Umar. You present yourself to social media, and then when you're not on social media, you're a completely different person. And people who have actually spent time with you on and off the camera have attested to that. Shout out to Lene Stacks.
She said you in character.
Your mother calling you, evil or the devil. I mean, that didn't go over our heads. That's your own mother calling you that.
Not only did Lene Stacks say his mother referred to him, his own nephew. The man's own nephew referred to him as the devil, said that his grandma, who was Umar's mother, called him and said, "Are you please going to save me from this devil?" Renee Stack said his mother said the same thing to her. Did she? She is cooking him.
You have relatives that have come out and spoke out against you. You have children you do not spend time with or take care of. And you still don't want to help. And you sit here and talk about someone being someone they're not. This is, the hypocrisy of it all. This is what scammers and con artists do.
It's crazy.
All they do is put on a visage, and it's like they have multiple personality disorder. Their own narcissism is trapped inside of their mind to where it flourishes a whole nother persona. And that persona has this grandiosity as if there's someone important when he's not.
Right.
Umar, you're not above the rule of law. When the IRS come for you, they will come for you just like they came for Al Capone. You're no different.
And they were not half of what they lived up to. So I can clearly put forth a false notion of who Dr. Umar Johnson is beyond the degree, because I know people who don't have the degree who have more expertise than people with them. So to me, that really
don't make sense.
Doesn't mean much because I'm in that sphere and in that social professional setting. Exactly. So for me, the best way to learn somebody is to learn them face to face. Ask them the questions, get in their person. As human beings, and you know this, being a student of spirit yourself, we're very vibrational individuals. So you can learn more from the vibration of a person than you.
Sean Bright, where's the website link to the school? Where's the website link to the school? I'm not even trying to tell you what to say. I just want you to include that in your response. Can you drop the link to the school website? That's all.
You have a clip from their bio or credentials.
I wish that was totally true, because I have had people look me directly in the face and lie at the same time.
Exactly.
I like this lady. She's not really going for that shit. But if you look at this is how you can tell that he's a fraud. Everything that he does is a facade. Can you tell me one person that has been around this man for more than a 3-day period of time? Anybody that's not just meeting him and shake his hand, that's actually been around him. Find one person that had anything to say good about him. From his kids, his baby mom, his nephew, Renee Stacks, Conscious Stripper, Marianne, Uncle Malik. Have you ever heard anybody that's been around this man long enough to get to know him say anything good about him?
Don't worry, I'll wait.
There's one person.
So I always encourage people to research. And by the way, the research that I do is not just online, but I encourage people to pick up the phone, use the good old pen and paper, make phone call, and get certified records if necessary. And that can be found. I went to the state of Pennsylvania to look up yours. And I'm not trying to challenge you, doctor. Really, I'm not. I just want our people to not only listen to and hear from a man who is
Umar is the greatest self-snitcher ever. He tells on himself, because in order for him to cover up one lie, he has to come up with another lie. And oftentimes he's doing it on the spot. That's why he avoids answering questions, because he knows if he just repeats the same old dumb shit over and over again, that he gets to skirt around that. And her approach to this, which I'm kind of starting to understand, is like she's giving some level of, praise or something like that. Then she gives, a challenging question or some rebuttal or critique, because she knows that he's a freaking man baby child and he'll throw a tantrum if he doesn't get his ass kissed like he wants. So, I just hate that, once you ask a few basic questions and you see that person is not able to answer it, I wouldn't continue to give them a platform. That interview would have been like 10 minutes for me.
Right.
If that.
Speaking truth and speaking truth to our people, but I also want them to be cognitive and smart enough to do your own research. So anyway, when I went to the state of Pennsylvania where you practice, the state of Pennsylvania, there was nothing under the name Umar Johnson. So what name is your degree, is your degree under? Your certified psychologist degree. Hello? Dr. Umar?
Oh, now he having phone issues.
I can hear you now.
Okay.
I was asking you.
No, I heard the question. Let me answer you. When you earn a doctorate degree in psychology, the state Bureau of Psychology, the State Board of Psychology, does not keep a listing of everyone with a doctorate. They don't keep a list.
Bro, all you had to do was just tell her what the name. She didn't ask you all that. She asked you what name is it under. Now all of a sudden they don't keep a list. Why wouldn't they? Ooh, I mean, Nikwa, is that true? Listen to what he just said. They don't keep a list of people. Why would they give you a doctorate if they don't? If you wouldn't, like, how are they going to verify that you actually have it if they don't keep a list?
Okay.
I was asking you.
No, I heard the question. Let me answer you. When you earn a doctorate degree in psychology, the State Bureau of Psychology, the State Board of Psychology, does not keep a listing of everyone with a doctorate. They don't keep a listing at all of anyone with a doctorate. The State Board of Psychology keeps a list of individuals who have earned their license in psychology.
Do you have a license?
I have my doctorate. Yes, ma'am. Their license and their license only. I have my.
That's you just said you had a license, right? Yeah, which you actually don't. But he just fucked himself. Listen to what he just said. He just really tripped over himself. He said they don't keep a list of people that have their doctorate. They only have the list that have their license. So she said, well, do you have your license? He says, yes. So what name is it under?
State Bureau of Psychology, the State Board of Psychology, does not keep a listing of everyone with a doctorate. They don't keep a listing at all of anyone with a doctorate. The State Board of Psychology keeps a list of individuals who have earned their license in psychology.
Do you have a license?
I have my doctorate. Yes, ma'am. Their license and their license only. I have my doctorate in clinical psychology. I am certified as a school psychologist. Your certification does not come from the state board. Your certification comes from the State Department of Education. The only person.
But he said he has a license, and he clearly has expressed he understands the difference.
Right.
Because of where he's saying they come from.
Right.
So the licensing board will give you your license, Umar. Where's your damn license?
Exactly.
We've seen 2 certifications, but you haven't renewed the last one in over 10 years. We all understand the differences between a license, a certification, and a degree. You, on the other hand, conveniently melt all these things together when you're trying to avoid telling the truth about the fact that you don't have a license. Why didn't he just say, yes, he has a license? That was a lie.
I have my doctorate in clinical psychology. I am certified as a school psychologist.
You can't be certified if you don't have a license. You see where the lie is right there. You can't be certified without a license. You can have a doctorate, but don't you have to be certified? I mean, you can practice it. Isn't that what certified mean, Nikwa? Wouldn't that anybody in the chat? Wouldn't certified mean that you have your license and you are able to practice it? He just keep you see how he said, I have my doctorate and I am certified. But he's not mentioning a license.
Certification does not come from the state board. Your certification comes from the State Department of Education.
This is just a word salad to trip her
the
up.
Only person we have an doctorate is the school I graduated, because the State Board of Psychology does not keep those records, nor are they interested in those records. They keep a record purely of those who are licensed. I do not hold a license, and the reason I do not hold a license is because my expertise is in school psychology. in which I am certified. That's where I spend 95% of my time. I do conduct clinical evaluation.
You can't. Certified and licensed are the same thing. You see how he's trying to split them up? You see how he splits that and say, oh, I am certified, but I don't have my license. Wait a minute, bro. Wait a minute, bro. Hold on, bro. Wait a minute. To be certified, you have to be licensed. You see how he keeps trying to say, I have my doctorate, I'm certified. But to be certified, you have to have a license. Don't hide in here. Don't hide in here, buddy. Go hide out here.
Evaluation. And since I'm not licensed, if I conduct a clinical evaluation, that means I have to get a licensed psychologist to sign off on my evaluation for clinical work.
So why didn't he do that? Because
exactly.
Isn't that why he got in trouble?
Exactly.
And had to leave the school?
Exactly.
Because he tried to diagnose someone's child?
Exactly.
Isn't that what happened? Correct me if I'm wrong here. Isn't the reason why he was fired from the school or told to leave was because he tried to diagnose someone and did not get a licensed clinician to sign off on it? Black Anonymous said, remember, Umar has told parents to take their children off medication, and he's not qualified to do that. Exactly. Because then you would need at least be a physician's assistant or a nurse practitioner, to which you would still be under the supervision of a licensed medical physician.
And he's
so essentially, you would have to be a psychiatrist, not a psychologist, because there's a difference.
And that's where the mix-up and the trip-up gets people. When people hear, I'm a certified, hold on, wait, let me, what was it? Hold on.
Of a licensed medical physician. So essentially, you would have to be a psychiatrist, not a psychologist.
Yeah, people mix up the word psychologist and psychiatrist. So when he says I'm a certified psychologist, people think of the other one. I keep mixing them up. The other one. So he's tripping people up with that. A psychiatrist. That's what it is. I keep fucking because they sound so similar. When he says he's a certified psychologist, people think he's a psychiatrist, a psychologist, or a psychologist. You know what the fuck I mean. You goddamn words are too similar. I keep mixing them.
Because there's a difference.
There's a big difference.
He didn't pass the EPP. Yep. Okay. So that is why he was escorted by 2 hefty officers, because he tried to diagnose someone's child without a license to do that, and it wasn't signed off by a licensed clinician.
Facts.
So why did you do it anyway, Umar? You Oompa Loompa. I'm so glad he's self-snitching right here.
For psychoeducational work, I don't.
They should have sued him for that.
Because I am certified. The problem is when people are not in a particular field, they don't understand the regulations of the field. They don't understand the different areas of the field, and they'll go looking for something that they know nothing about and end up drawing false conclusions about the person they're researching.
And see, that's just the point. People have a right to look up who is going inside of their minds. People have a right to know what type of doctor, be it medical or psychological, they have a right to know who those people are. And so going back to the question, for your certified.
It's what, truthfully, using logic, I think that's exactly what it wasn't. That the reason why he was fired. He was misdiagnosing someone's child. He was actually, the idea of him diagnosing a child in general without a licensure.
Facts. 35 people in the chat. Make sure y'all hitting that like button, family, please. Please, for the one time. And if anybody want to support the channel, the Cash App, PayPal, it's posted at the top of the chat, and it's going along the screen at the bottom. And if you want to super chat, you can super chat, but I would rather you send it to the Cash App because YouTube usually takes the whole thing. But If you don't have Cash App or PayPal, you can send a super chat. That's if you want to support the channel. But most importantly, I'd rather you hit that like button and share this video and subscribe if you haven't already subscribed.
It's illegal. So the fact that he's trying to truthfully use a logic, I think that's exactly what it wasn't. That the reason why he was fired. He was misdiagnosing someone's child. He was actually the idea of him diagnosing a child in general without a licensure is illegal.
Matchbook degrees.
So the fact that he's trying to sit here and make it seem like he can diagnose, knowing he could not do that,
right?
It goes to show he was at least informed that he could not do that because he wasn't licensed, and he did it anyway because he wants to make himself feel more important than he really is.
He's still doing it.
He hasn't got a PhD. It's a psych D. There's a different. Yeah, he has a degree in psychology. That's it. But he's not a psychiatrist. He doesn't have a license. And that certification was not renewed and has not been over 10 years. Black Anonymous said, I have heard that at Lady Luck Club, but I think he was fired from the school because he lied about having a doctorate on his resume. I mean, if he's walking around talking about he's got 6 degrees, we all know that's a lie.
Yeah, the school definitely.
They should have reported him to the state. Exactly. What's going on, Andrea? How you doing?
If he has 6 degrees, to even put in a resume at a school, you're going to have to present every last one of those degrees. They're going to do a background check. They're going to call every last one of those schools that he claimed that he went to.
Shout out to all of you all tuning in. 133 people watching. Please hit that like button and drop a 1 in the chat. If you have hit that like button, hit the like button. I'm going to keep shaking up the bushes. We also have a $25 goal for the live stream that goes towards the expenses of the channel. So any and all donations are welcome. Sometimes we meet the goal, sometimes we don't. But we bless God for the support either way. I just want to
see. I used to have that. I used to have a $20 goal for the channel for something on the loud pack, but I really don't even smoke like that no more. To be honest with you, I fell back off of that. I really don't even smoke like that no more. That's why I don't really ask for it. If anybody want to put something on it. I mean, the channel, not the loud pack, the channel. Like I said, the Cash App, PayPal at the top of the chat. They ain't going on the screen at the bottom. Shout out to Lady Luck, though, because she got a great break. This is a great breakdown.
Make sure you guys are hitting that like button. Thank you so much. What's going on, Cardale? I wish his sister had run for mayor. Oh, man. He didn't have a doctorate prior to 2012. Exactly. That's the year he allegedly graduated from PCOM. Let's see. I believe that in giving one size fits all advice for black kids. Exactly. He sits here and tells people to take their kids off of medications when he's not a licensed physician. The audacity. They should have sued his ass.
Right.
He should not be able to raise money without having to pay out a settlement.
Psychology degree. What name can we find it under?
Psychology degree. You get a degree from an institution.
Okay.
As I said again, my certification comes from the State Department of Education, as I said a moment ago.
Dr. Umar, why is it so hard for you just to answer the question?
Right.
Because I answered the question, and I think it's a ridiculous waste of time that we're worrying about where I got my degrees from instead of educating your parents on the law.
We want to educate our people. That is very true, Dr. Umar.
We did a whole show on my degree.
Well, but you have to, it didn't have to take that, Dr. Umar.
For 20 years, man.
Dr. Umar.
It doesn't matter, Umar, you stupid Oompa Loompa.
You keep trying to dance around the goddamn question. All you got to do is answer the question. Why is it so hard? I like this lady. She said, why is it so hard to answer the question? Oh, the state don't take them. Yes, they do. They have to have some type of record to prove that you had got that goddamn doctor. How would they not keep a log or record of the people that earned their doctorate from their school? What school does that? What state does that? Just don't keep a record of the people that's graduating with masters and doctorates. They're not keeping a record. I've never heard of that. And you keep talking about the information. We want to make sure the information is coming from the right person.
Why is it so hard for you just to answer the question?
Because I answered your question, and I think it's a ridiculous waste of time that we're worrying about where I got my degrees from instead of educating your parents on the law.
We want to educate our people. That is very true, Dr. Umar.
You're spending a whole show on my degree.
Well, but it didn't have to take that, Dr. Umar.
For 20 years, ma'am.
Dr. Umar.
It doesn't matter, Umar, you stupid Oompa Loompa. You have a field you claim you're working in that requires a degree, a certification, and a license if you're going to diagnose.
Right.
So yes, asking you about your 6 degrees is part of it. Even though we all know you don't have 6 degrees. Umar, don't make me have to get the dissertations for the other degrees that you have. You really don't want me to have to do that, because I had no problem doing that when it came to the dissertation for your doctorate degree from PCOM. It gave me great pleasure and joy to do it.
Oh, we gotta find that
because
video.
People need to know that you're an absolute
Manny,
fraud.
you know where that video is?
Your dissertation was pathetic. It was like reading a Dr. Seuss book.
All right, listen.
Hey Manny, if you know where that video is, please send that. Oh, we definitely got to do something on that. Oh, I like this lady a lot. I like Lady Luck's show a whole lot. She don't play no games. Shout out to Lady Luck Club.
Except 88 pages long.
You and I don't mean to bring age up, but you're old enough to be my son. Okay? And you are a smart, intelligent man. But do you know how many other people out here are just as smart and as intelligent? We deal with people all the time who give us a lot of this and that, and we as people don't check things out. I don't understand.
I understand.
No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't understand because you keep trying to fly her. She's not going for it. She's not going for it.
I think the best way to investigate Dr. Umar Johnson, I think this is the best way. After you found out I had my degree, since that matters so much to some people, but the best way to investigate me is to put out a calling to any parents that have worked with Dr. Has Dr. Umar ever helped you with your
I'm sure you have, Dr. Umar.
What the fuck do that got to do with them got your credentials, bro? You want to flip. That's the crazy part about it. I don't get about Umar. He throws his credentials all around, all in people's face, and then as soon as you ask about him, he getting butthurt. Text it to me. Don't send it to my email full. I gotta buy some more space for my email. Send it to my my number, Manny, because my email is filled up. I gotta either delete some stuff or buy some more room. Now Google making you pay for room on your goddamn email. But how do you throw your I'm the number one certified psychologist and I did this for 20 years. Okay, so let me see some proof you did all this. Let me see some proof that you no, the best way to find that out is go call parents that I work with. Hold on, bro. Wait. Hold the boat. Time out. Hold the boat. Run that back. What that got to do with you showing proof of these degrees? All we want to know is, all she asked him is, what name? This is, look, for 5-10 minutes, he been going back and forth with this lady for bullshit. And the question was, I couldn't find nothing under Umar Johnson. What name is it under? Oh, they don't do degrees. They don't do this, that, blah, 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 blah. What name is your doctorate under? What name is your degrees under? Oh, the best way to find that out is to call the parents and hold on, bro. First time they asked him on the Roland Martin show, all you got to do is pick up the phone and call the school. Motherfuckers did that. Can't find nothing. So they asked you, what name is it under? He moved the goalpost. That motherfucker is out of the goalpost is somewhere in the soccer stadium now. It ain't even in the football field anymore. He didn't move the goalpost over to the baseball field. You know how usually stadiums got the baseball field and the football field right next to each other and the hockey joint and everything is all right next to each other. He didn't move goalposts to the other part of the stadium. He moved it over to the basketball court and shit. I'm looking at it now, man. He didn't move that shit over to the basketball court and shit. They ain't even in the football field no more. That shit is long gone. And as a psychologist or whatever, you have, by law, you have to show people this. That's like going to a doctor's office to get a checkup, and you ask the doctor, can I see your credentials? And he gives you the runaround. All you got to do is call up school and ask. You call up school, can't find nothing because you didn't change your name. So what name is it under? Oh, all you got to do is ask my other patients if I gave them good reviews and blah blah blah. Oh, no, doc. Never mind. I'll go to the hospital.
Mark, without a doubt. Again, I'm going to go back to the question.
Exactly.
Your work is fantastic. You still have not answered the question.
No, he's done no work. He just runs his mouth.
That's it.
That's all Umar is good for. Podcasting. Umar, you are a struggle streamer.
Struggle streamer.
You know, you dog out the things that really reflect who you are. You hate black women because you are one.
There you go. Shit.
I just had to say it.
Shit. She says you hate black women because you are one. Oh my God. That's the funniest shit I've heard about the Umar. So by far. That is the funniest joke I've heard. She says you hate black women because you are one, nigga.
Umar, you're a whole bitch. You sit here, you dog out black women because you hate them. You sit here and talk about being a struggle streamer because you are one. No one else is sitting here just streaming in their car while they still cannot prove where they actually live. If I'm doing a car ride along live stream, it's because I want to, but I also have a home where I have to pay rent. Where do you take up residence? He's sitting here dodging simple questions that, yes, is available to the public because of the line of work you're in. Running your mouth is not doing work.
Nope.
And if you're being fired for misdiagnosing children because you weren't licensed, you're certainly not doing anything. And we all know that school will never open.
Oh, thanks.
Where's the website again?
Dr. Umar?
What is your question?
My question is, on your certified psychologist degree, what name is there?
Certified degree, I just told you.
Oh, you don't have a certified degree.
Philipsville
What's up, Fly
University,
Mama?
Lehigh University, and the Philadelphia College of Osteopathic Medicine. I am certified through the Department of Education.
And when I call those places, what name can I give them so that they can pull your name up?
I just told, you know what?
Is it Umar Johnson?
What? Obviously, that's who you're interviewing.
Okay. That's all I was asking.
Talking to Dr. Umar Johnson.
You weren't Umar Johnson when you went to those schools. But secondly, she just told you that she called those places and could not find nothing. He doesn't want her to know his real name, to look it up. He's dancing around giving his real name.
Oh, Lord.
My goodness.
You know.
Don't you think she said twice, I tried to look you up, nothing came up.
Nothing came up.
So if you've had a name change, Umar, you alien from outer space. God, I wish your home planet would come and reclaim you. Would you tell her, hey, you know what? I've had a name change in my lifetime. So you might want to refer to the other name that I was given.
Exactly. That's exactly what I just said.
Because Umar Johnson's not on your birth certificate. He's a clown.
I wish that we could.
Problem. Not my degree. I didn't know this was going to be an interrogation.
Hey, Andrea.
I'm not trying to interrogate you. I am trying to
Thank you.
educate.
All your questions now. You can go and do your research.
Okay.
I'm giving you everything.
Shout out to you, Andrea, for the $4.99 super. Thank you so much. That goes towards the $25 goal for the live stream. You guys, make sure you're hitting that like button, and thank you so much for engaging in the chat. Show Mama that you love her.
And you did not give her everything she needed to know, because if you would have gave her everything you need to know, she needed to know, you would have gave her your real name to look it up. She just told you she can't find nothing. You're just sending people in circles.
I hitting that like, hit the like.
Now you can go hunt. You got Miller's.
Why do you say it like that? Why do you say that like that? Do you know that
Umar's
there are thousands of people who are listening to us?
I'll tell you why. And I'm glad they're listening, because I want them to understand that it bothers me as the foremost advocate and educator and expert in the area of mental health for our children in this country as a
You see how he throws it around? But when this is exactly what I'm talking about. He throws, I'm the foremost of this and that and the third. So where the fuck are the credentials to prove this? You get butthurt. That's a deflection. That means something ain't right.
To the public school system, fighting as much as I fight, for as long as I fought, for as free as I fought, to have to get questions from my own people about who I am when I am
now
not
you're attacking.
I've been doing this for 20 years. I have been an expert witness in major lawsuits against school districts. I have worked with lawyers from California.
And you've lost. You lost. And actually, you weren't an expert witness. The reason why they lost is because they proved that you weren't an expert witness. That's funny as shit. That's funny. What? You better be careful there, little buddy. That's funny as shit. They lost the case because they proved that you weren't an expert witness. Because you probably argued with the judge about your credentials, probably try to give him that same spin and run around, and the judge probably said the same thing. Where's the license? I don't want to hear none of that other gobbledygook. Where are your credentials?
To New York City, I have saved thousands of children. I have worked with prisons across the country, school districts.
Working with attorneys and having them represent you are two totally different things, Umar.
Right.
If they were your attorneys helping you get out of legal trouble, then you're not working with them for the benefit of the community. You're only working with them because you hired them to represent you in something.
Exactly.
Because otherwise, I would love to know these attorneys that you allegedly work with to do anything in any community and show a receipt.
Right.
He's getting mad because he doesn't want people to verify his education, even though that was done either way.
Even though you want to throw your education in everybody's face and throw it, or he just try to throw his whole education in her face, but don't want people to verify the education. That's something ain't right about that. And then he goes to act like he's being attacked. I get interrogated by my own people. Yes, we're vetting you niggas now. You're not going to come and tell us that you are this, that, and the third. And then when we ask you to prove it, you want to get butthurt about it. I like her. She was not letting that go.
And I've saved countless black children, and yet and still, I got to come on the radio and talk about my degrees as opposed to what we can do to help our people. We could have been talking about the National Independent Black Parents Association, which we want to get organized in Detroit and Michigan so we can help our parents fight against racism. We're going to have a special ed committee, a school finance committee, a school discipline committee, a homeschool committee, a parent advocate.
This right here is a deflection. Everything he's saying right now is a big Batman smoke bomb. Ninja vanish. He threw the smoke bomb down and disappeared.
Committee and the finance committee so we can educate, investigate, and advocate for our parents. Every Tuesday morning, I host a free Black Parent teleconference. Every Tuesday. We just had it this morning, where any parent in America can call Dr. Umar Johnson.
You heard what he just said? We need to educate, investigate, and advocate. One fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish, knick-knack, paddywhack. Give a dog a bone. Listen to what he just said.
So we can educate, investigate, and advocate for our parents. A parent advocacy committee and a finance committee so we can educate, investigate, and advocate for our parents. A parent advocacy committee and a finance committee so we can educate, investigate, and advocate for our parents.
One fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish, knick-knack, paddywhack. Give a dog a bone.
Every Tuesday morning, I host a free Black Parent teleconference. Every Tuesday. We just had it this morning, where any parent in America can call Dr. Umar Johnson, any Black parent, because that's my focus. They can call Dr. Umar Johnson, ask any question they have, and get free answers. I do morning for free, and I've been doing it for quite some time.
Give us the
It's my focus. They can call Dr.
So I think it's Francesca. I think that's how you say the name. Francesca called to verify if Umar worked 20 years, and he did not. I've already said he couldn't have worked 20 years. You were doing this for about 15. Where did the other 20 come in?
Dr. Umar Johnson, ask any question they have, and get.
There's no way he could have went through school, got 6 degrees, worked 20 years, and been doing all the shit that he's been doing the last 15 years in his lifetime. There's no way.
Pause. So this radio host, Cynthia A. Johnson, is asking you any and every question, and you're not answering it.
Not one.
How does this show that you're willing to talk to someone over the phone? If they ask the same questions, because you just said they can ask you any and every question. Because this is what people want to know. Are you qualified and educated to do what you're doing?
Right.
We just had it this morning where any parent in America can call Dr. Umar Johnson, any black parent, because that's my focus. They can call Dr. Umar Johnson, ask any question they have, and get free answers. I do that every Tuesday.
Ask any question they ask and get free answers from the hypocrite who's getting mad about a degree that he touts. He's the one saying I got 6
all
of them.
day.
You know, I got 5 on it.
Tuesday morning for free, and I've been doing it for quite some time now.
Give us the information on that so that parents can call every Tuesday.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Every Tuesday from 6 a.m. until 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But we do stay on the line until every question has been answered by every parent. The only time answered for every parent. The only time I hang up the call before we get to all answers and questions
is when they ask him about his education, his degrees, how much money he's making, how's the money being spent. Is he licensed? Is he certified? Has he ever been to jail? Does he have an actual criminal record? You know, why don't you take care of your children? Where's your mother? Can you show proof of life? Yeah, you ask any of those questions, he's definitely going to hang up.
Right.
Umar, freaking clown. Thank you all for tuning in. Hit that like button. Hit the 1 if you've hit that like button. You know, because Jay Wood Podcast wants to make sure that these videos stay at the top of the algorithm. Shout out to my brother in Christ. Thank you so much. Hit the 1 if you've hit that like button. Mama's not playing.
I have an emergency or a meeting. Other than that, I stay on until every parent gets the help they need because they need that. Our parents don't have nobody they can turn to. When they get a psych evaluation, they don't have nobody who's going to help them review that for free. When somebody wants to put their child on medicine and tell them they can't come back to school unless they're on psychiatric medicine, our parents don't know that the school cannot demand that they put their children on education. They don't know they have a right to say no to an evaluation. They don't understand that if their child is in special ed, they should only be suspended for 10 total days off the whole school year. Educational law is a very big area. And unfortunately, is an area of the law in which we find black parents to be largely ignorant. And that's why my work is so valuable.
Now, I want you to notice one huge, the biggest part about this interview. He keeps talking about all this so-called work that he's doing, and those were none of the questions. She didn't ask him about his work. She asked him about his education.
Because I teach them their rights and I teach them in a way that no one else in this country is teaching them.
What phone number do they call every Tuesday from 6 to 8?
Morning call, because I don't know it.
He said they stay on the phone until everyone's questions have been answered, but it's 6 to 8. Yeah. 2-hour block, but they stay on the phone until everyone has got their questions answered.
857
predicting himself.
232
0158.
0158.
And I'll repeat 857 232 0158. And there's an access code.
That is?
Access code is 870 864 pound. 870 864 pound. Every Tuesday morning, 6 a.m. until 9 a.m. at that number, which is a free number. And of course, we want them to come out and sign up for the Parent Association.
Does that number still work? Has anybody tried to dial that number? Does it still work? Or has he abandoned that like he abandoned the actual school website domain?
Wednesday at the Shrine of the Black Madonna.
Parent Association, sign up on Wednesday, December 30th. From what time to what time, Dr. Umar?
The doors will open up at 4. The doors will open up at 4 o'clock.
Thank you, Lord.
At the Shrine of the Black Madonna. My presentation will be from 6 p.m. until 9 p.m. And I will have copies of my most important book, Psychoacademic Holocaust, which is a must-read for black parents. If they read that book, they will be in a very good position to protect their child from any.
If it reads like that dissertation, you better not buy that book. It's going to dumb you down. Shout out to Laura, one of my fantastic mods here in the LLC, as well as my administrator on StreamYard. Shout out to you for the super. Thank you so much for the super. Let's help reach that goal. And make sure you guys are hitting that like button. I appreciate all of you all for tuning in.
Type of violation against their child's rights by the school.
Give the name of that book again, Dr. Umar.
Psychoacademic, PSYCHO hyphen, Psychoacademic Holocaust, the Special Education and ADHD Wars against black boys.
And speaking of special education, what a lot of parents don't know is that a lot of the monies in special education in the city of Detroit has been transferred to other places. Our children are not getting, in the city of Detroit, they are not getting the type of education that they so much deserve.
And that's why we need the parent association.
Yeah.
That's exactly why we need it. That's exactly why we need it. And if any parent listening would like to help be an organizer, we want them all to participate. But if they would like to be an organizer, to play a leading role in starting the Detroit chapter, please send me an email, drumarjohnson@yahoo.com, so I know that you're someone who doesn't mind doing the groundwork of getting out, recruiting parents, doing the research, and educating and advocating for the parents. So I'm looking for those organizers and leaders, because March 25th through March 27th, this is a very important date. I will be hosting the very first organizing conference for new chapters of the National Independent Black Parents.
Shout out to you, Ginger Spice. Welcome in. Tuning in. Thank you so much for tuning in. Shout out to all of you all tuning in. He can't stand being questioned because he's a fraud and he has an ego problem. She asks him simple questions. He's pitiful. Absolutely. Shout out to you, Ginger, for the 25 super, helping us meet and exceed our goal. I appreciate that. Thank you all so much. And listen, it doesn't have to stop there, but I appreciate it nonetheless. Make sure you guys are just hitting that like button. Thank you, Boston, man. True count. $25 super. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome. All right, let's get back to it because she is going in on him. Well done, Cynthia.
Parent Association. That will be on Saturday, March the 26th. I know Easter is the next day, the 27th, but the conference will be on Friday and Saturday, the 25th and the 26th. I haven't come up with a location yet. If you're interested in being a part of that chapter, a leader in the chapter, you would definitely need to come there and get the necessary training that I'm going to give, because we have to make sure we are absolutely clear on what the law is, how to advocate for our parents, what to teach them to do, what to train them not to do. This is the first time Black parents have been organized on a national scale to fight against educational racism. And so we're very proud.
Shout out to D. Bernice for the 99 super. Thank you. I seem to looked over that one. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Bernice. Shout out to you.
Out of this new movement, and we need people to help us. Black people suffer, as you know, because of disorganization. If we do not organize, nothing else will change.
Absolutely. And that's the truth. And so when people start asking you questions,
well, damn, I be watching these niggas, they be getting super chats like a mug, bro. God damn. These super chats be going up.
Questions, you won't get on the defense, will you?
Ma'am, do you know how often I have to answer that question?
I bet you, because I've seen it.
I mean, you know how often you bring the shit up?
I do know.
Degrees, okay?
I do know.
And it's a shame, because I don't get these questions from white people. White people know how to find out where I graduated from school.
Wait, I thought he didn't like white people.
No, they don't. They don't know where to find out because you changed your name. So no, they don't know where to find out.
I thought you were a hardcore racist. You know, snow bunnies never, black queens forever type of.
And white people don't have to worry about you because you're not trying to diagnose their children. You don't get questioned from white folks because you don't deal with them.
Okay.
But I guarantee if you go over there
you
and try
really
to
think
diagnose
that white people want to ask you anything when you're walking around here parading yourself to be an actual racist? Are you kidding me? And you don't want any other race to donate money. So what reason would they really have to ask you about your degrees? They're not giving you any money. You don't want donors or sponsors outside of the African race because, you know, Africa. And you don't really treat their kids. You don't want to. So what reason would they have to even ask you about a degree?
Exactly.
This is so asinine for him to say that. You can ask any question, but you just can't ask any question about my actual education, to which people will want to know what it is if I'm sitting here talking about, you know, testing their child in anything.
Crazy.
His field of work requires a certain type of education, and he doesn't even want to disclose it. What a joke.
Oh, you understand? I speak at colleges. I'm the most requested African-American speaker in this country.
You know what, Dr. Umar, you know what I'm going to say to that when you say that white people don't ask that question. White people don't ask that question because, you know, actually, they really don't care.
The information. No, they do care. When I speak at a college.
No, they don't care because you don't want to treat their kids.
When I speak at colleges, they demand to see my curriculum vitae. They want to see that. You know what they do?
So why don't you show it?
Contact from college to college. They contact the colleges I graduated from. to make sure I graduated.
Absolutely.
And having spoken at hundreds of colleges in this country, I have yet to have one to come back and say, oh, we found out that doctorate you claim you have, you don't have. We found out that you're not a school psych. Really? You really think they're going to let me in a courtroom and testify in a special ed class action lawsuit without
You did. They kicked you out. What the fuck is you talking about? They didn't allow you. That's why they lost the case, because you didn't get allowed to testify. They asked you for your credentials. White folks, I'm pretty sure, they asked you for your credentials, and you couldn't present them, and then they lost the case.
a degree?
So when I ask you the question, you know.
Yes, because if you have a certificate or a licensure, you don't have to have an actual doctorate degree to have a certificate. Even if you have a master's degree, hell, even if you have a bachelor's degree, as long as you have a certificate, you can do the basics. You can't, do any clinical work on the child, but you can do anything the certification allows you to do. That includes testifying on, in any child case that involves custody or, parental time, anything. And don't think that they only summon people in who are, who only have doctorate degrees. If the court deems you to be an expert witness, then there are a list of questions and a process you have to go through in order for the court to deem you to be an expert witness. Because Umar doesn't know how court works. He can't articulate that either. So he's just saying shit and it tries to make it sound good and it doesn't. It just comes off as, ignorance, because he doesn't understand how the courts verify someone to be an expert witness at something.
What? Honestly, I love you. Okay. I love your work. I love what you do. But, I've gone online and I have seen. Wait a minute. But wait a minute. Wait a minute, Umar. Wait. Hold on for a second. Hold on. Listen, when I went online, I talked to some, but I've seen.
Who did you talk to?
Wait a minute.
Only expert on Umar Johnson. Who did you talk to about me?
Wait a minute. That's why I said.
This is what she's saying. She couldn't verify his education because the name that she used did not render a degree. So clearly, he should have just said, I have a different name.
Exactly.
Why is that so hard? I don't get it. He doesn't give white people this hard of a time because I'm sure he will tell them, hey, I changed my name. I was actually born Jermaine Shoemake.
Yeah, that's why I corrected myself.
Unbelievable.
Don't be trying to overtalk me, Dr. Umar.
Put his ass on mute.
Who did you talk to?
Wait a minute. I said, I corrected that. I said, I went online and I saw where there were some people who came.
There's going to be jealousy. Of course.
Why are you not letting me finish?
The country, and you have a larger.
Here we go with people jealous, and ain't nobody fucking jealous, bro. What are they jealous of? You live in a fucking car. You are begging for money on the internet all day, every day. What do we have to be jealous about?
Following than anyone else, people going to be jealous.
Of course they are. We know that. We know that. But
tell me because you saw hatred written about me, you automatically assume.
Bro, why do you think people care about your following? Umar, I know you're going to see this, bro. I know you're going to see this. No one cares about you. We actually laugh at your following because they're a bunch of fucking naive idiots. Who can be jealous of a following of a bunch of naive idiots? Any intelligent person or just anybody with common sense. Who can be jealous of a follower? All your following doing is proving that there are a bunch of naive dummies out there. There are a whole lot of naive dummies out there. That's the only thing that your following proves. No one is jealous of that. I could never be jealous of that. I would rather keep my 6,000 followers of logical thinking, intelligent people than to have your millions of followers of a bunch of fucking dummies. Just straight dummies. A lot of them probably on the spectrum.
That could be true. Really?
Questioning his education somehow has translated to hatred because Umar is a weakling with no spine. because he always wants to play the victim, and because he's a coward. Your dissertation sucks ass, Umar.
Wait, that's the power of negativity in the black community, that anything negative said about somebody is automatically something worth following up? Really?
Yes.
No, he just takes free
Yes.
speeches.
And that's not a shame, because when a person asks you a question and you hem and haw, when a person asks a question and you hem and haw, that's almost similar to.
Can I ask you a question? What law did you find written anywhere that says when someone graduates from college,
I didn't look.
credentials are published online? No, I'm asking you a question.
I didn't look.
Well, I know he's not
I just
he
answered.
plays the victim.
I didn't look. I did not.
How does a law? Wait. How did the law get into this? When he keeps doing that, that's doing the biggest deflection. What law does do? If you are diagnosing people and trying to be a psychologist, we want to know your credentials. Plain and simple. You keep trying to move that goalpost so far out of the stadium.
Look, Dr. Umar, what I did do is go online. I have enjoyed you so much.
And I've enjoyed you.
I really have. And I'm going to see you. I'm going to
come back on your show and talk about the issues.
Well, we talked partly about it, but we need to know who Dr. Umar Johnson is, because there's too many.
Who don't know?
Listen, I know who you are, but I don't know who you are. And so because of that, we are going to get you back on the show. And when I see you on December 30th, you better not turn your back. You better give me a hug.
I'm going to give you a big hug and thank you.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Bless her heart. She did her best, y'all. She did her best.
That's ridiculous.
She did her best. All right, y'all. I want to get to the actual information that we're here for today. That was good. I mean, she challenged him. She still, and this could have, because this is old. I'm sure her views on him has changed significantly, because if she had doubt questions then, she definitely has them now.
If she doubt, I bet you she ain't never have him back on that show. And if she had doubts about him then, she's right. Lady Luck is right. She definitely knows he's a fraud now.
This is something else. Clown want to sit here and get mad because somebody asking about his education. Yes, we're asking about your education, you clown. Of course we're asking. Of course we're asking. So I want to pull up the court documents. All right. And I'm going to start with Lenon, because the lawsuit that he filed against Lenon is a lot shorter. Let me make sure I have this pulled up here. Hold on, where is? Okay, I'm trying to pull up the PDF files. Okay, here we go. So I said I was going to go over the lawsuit that he had filed on Lenon Honor. Okay, because it's just, it's not long, but also did and shout out to Manny. He sent me the chat GPT on the Archibald case, because that one is a lot more.
Okay, this is where I came in the chat when I heard her say shout out to Manny. I texted Manny right away and asked him, wait, is this the stuff that you sent me to? And this is something different. But this is where I came in the chat and started to see what the hell was going on. That whole part that we just watched, I ain't seen none of that until today.
Detailed, but Lennon's was more straightforward. So I'm gonna try my best not to show. I think an address is listed there. I'm just gonna scroll down past that. So if you guys see me do a quick scroll, it's because of that. So let me make sure you guys can see this. Let me know. Put a 1 in the chat if you can see the court document here. This is the complaint that Umar filed against Lenon because, reasons. Even though he had this man doxxed. Can you believe it? You can't make this stuff up. So let's go through this right quick, and then we're going to go over to, and I'll show the Archibald court documents that I have obtained, and then we're going to go to Chat GPT to read over the summaries, because I don't want to read every page, but if you guys want me to upload these documents and put them on the membership only channel, I am more than happy to do so. Shout out to those 10 people who got gifted memberships today. YouTube give content creators 10 free memberships when you're eligible for the membership program. So I've gifted out my 10 that I get for the month. And if you've gotten one, take advantage of it. Some great content there on the members only channel. So let's get to it. So I like I said, I don't know who all has read these court documents. I'm sure Lenon has gone over this as well. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just go through the intro, and I have to kind of put up a thing while I scroll past his personal information, because this man has been doxxed enough, and I'm not gonna show his address on here. So as you guys can see, this was the United States District Court, Eastern District of Pennsylvania. This was a federal lawsuit. Okay, this is District Court. That's federal court. The case number on that was 21-CB-02273-RBS. Let me scroll in. It's only 5 pages. This was filed on May 18th of 2021. And of course, he asked for a jury trial because reasons. So let me make sure you guys see he put down an address for, is that the school address?
Yep.
I don't know it looks like the school address, but let me scroll past the addresses right quick. I'm gonna put this up for a second, just for a second, so I can scroll past the addresses. Because Umar is a big ass baby. He'll sit here and swear you tried to dox him. And then the defendant listed as Lenon Honor, and I'm just scrolling past his address here. All right, let's take down the cover. All right, and we're back. So as you guys can see, the basis for jurisdiction, federal courts are courts of limited jurisdiction. Only 2 types of cases can be heard in federal court: cases involving a federal question and cases involving diversity of citizenship of the parties. Under 28 U.S.C. Statute 1331, a case involving the U.S. Constitution or federal laws or treaties is a federal question case. Under 28 U.S.C. Statute 1332, a case in which a citizen of one state sues a citizen of another state and the amount in damages is more than $75,000 is a diversity of citizenship case. All right. So he checked off, and Umar's the plaintiff in this. He checked off federal questions. And then he said the basis for this is Federal Copyright Act 17 U.S.C. 101 Digital Millennium Act of 2000. So he's suing Lenon Honor for copyright infringement. That's basically what that comes down to. Okay. So let's go to the statement of claim. This is where you describe the case, the facts of the case, how the actual law was violated in the complaint, and you give like the relevant events of the case itself. And he says here, the violations of copyright infringement, harassment, and slander occurred via the YouTube social media platform. Let's not forget, Umar did not go to law school. He's not an attorney. He does not know how court works. He certainly does not know how to fill out a complaint. And he doesn't understand the law.
Yeah, he said copyright.
And he's alleging that Lenon Honor violated copyright infringement laws by harassing and slandering him on YouTube. What does copyright?
That ain't got nothing to do with harassment or slander. First of all, I'm pretty sure that's what you're about to say. But any video that you put on YouTube, there I go right there, just popping in the chat. I see my joint right there. Right over above my head, where my joint is. You can see me right there. That's when I just popped in the chat right over top of Francesca. But those two things have nothing to do with each other. And once you put a video on YouTube, it's fair use. I can see he's not just like using the video. You're allowed to. That's what the fair use laws is for educational purposes and critiquing. You're allowed to be critiqued. If it's slander, that's when you're lying on someone. But he got 6 degrees. It's the same thing with Pharaoh. He said he was the best fucking lawyer in the world and don't know shit about court.
infringement have anything to do with harassment and slander? You can't make this shit up.
You can't.
And you'd be surprised how many people get on YouTube. They don't have a solid bone in their body. They don't handle criticism well. And yet they try to take people to court. Thank you so much, Andrea, for the $4.99 super again. Black parents don't need Umar. He's always calling black people stupid. We need.
You think I hate? You know what? To be honest with you, like usually when motherfuckers go to school and get degrees and stuff, they really think that they are the smartest people in the world. Like I know a lot of people that graduated from college and they swear that they just the smartest motherfuckers on God's green earth. And they think other black people don't know shit because they went to school.
Need Umar because we're too slow to understand it.
This is fictitious litigation right here.
Yeah, that's in his alternate universe in his mind.
Speaking of Pharaoh, where's Pharaoh at when you need him? Because this is fictitious litigation. Pharaoh's always talking about fictitious litigation on every court case. This is fictitious litigation. Look, there she go. There I go. She just put my post up. This is when I came in the chat and asked, hey, man, is this what you sent me to?
What's going on, Rim Rum TV? Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Andromeda, how you doing? How recent?
Shout out to you, Lady Luck. Appreciate the shout out.
This is lawsuit. This was filed in 2021. Okay. So I'm not sure if Lenon has gone over this, but I wanted to go over this because of the recent settlement he did with Marianne Lorient and to show you all how stupid Umar is when it comes to matters of the law. There's a reason why he dodges service when it comes to going to court. Even in this case where he's the petitioner, he's the one that filed the complaint against Lenon Honor. And he can't even express or show that he understands copyright infringement laws because he's considering harassment and slander to be a violation of copyright infringement.
That's just out of this world doofus magoofus behavior right there. You see slander. I can see if you was just suing him for slander, but you said copyright infringement on top of that, bro. What the fuck? I know Lenon probably got these paperwork and I was like, what? Huh? I know he was confused, them motherfucker. Copyright infringement.
Because you can't make this shit up. He's not meant to be on social media. He's a coward.
Nope.
So he said that the event started during December of 2019 to the present day, up until 2021. So yeah, he's been violating copyright infringement laws because harassment and slander for 2 years. I'm sorry. What in that is copyrighted again?
I have no clue.
Oh my God. So he says here, Lenon Honor, this is supposed to be a fact. Okay. Background facts are supposed to be facts, provable statements that can be supported with documentation and evidence. Not his assumption. Lenon Honor has used over 500 videos.
That's crazy,
without any
Francesca.
That
right
copyright
there is crazy.
Permissions or licenses.
Francesca said you doxed him, his wife, his kids, and yet you were suing him for harassment and slander. That's diabolical.
From my social media platforms. Which social media platform do you own, Umar?
None.
So Umar would have had to prove that he owns a platform and that there are copyright claims on 500 videos that belong to Umar that he has copyright claims to. You have to prove that you have the right to claim the content on a third-party platform like YouTube.
Facts.
And you're talking about 500 videos. What? So Umar, you have 500 videos that you have actual copyright claims to.
Nobody has that.
This is not your platform. YouTube is not your platform. YouTube is a subsidiary to Google. This is
thing about it is he don't even got a YouTube channel. That's what makes it even funny. That's what makes it hilarious. I think she left that part out. He don't even got a YouTube channel.
not your platform. YouTube would be very offended you saying that. He has used these videos to defame, slander, and commit large-scale copyright infringement. How? So Umar would have had to prove that he has the right to claim these 500 videos as his original work, because that's how that law works.
Right.
So obviously this is not a fact, because he didn't state that he even is the owner of those 500 videos. It's not his original work, and he would not be able to prove that he has a copyright claim to 500 videos on YouTube.
You don't even got a channel.
This is how stupid he is. Defame, slander, commit large-scale copyright infringement. Okay, so
I want y'all to keep that in mind as you're reading this. He doesn't even have a YouTube channel. Okay, I'm going to sue you based on my non-existing law degree, and it's gonna be based on what I did, and then I'm coming. Ah! Mr. Judge, you funny as shit. Oh man.
Sure, by the time the judge read that, they laughed. As I am. So who did it? Lenon Honor stole over 500 videos from our social media accounts and cell phone, which constitute a violation of privacy and copyright infringement. Once again, you would have to prove that you have the copyright claim to these $500 videos.
Exactly.
I was about to say $500. Umar can't even prove he's got $500 too. So now you got to prove that the 500 videos are your videos. He used all these videos to slander my business and commit an act of slander against me. What business? Why is he repeating himself? I want you all to understand the stupidity in this. He used these videos, 500 videos, to slander my business. What's your business, Umar?
That's what I was just saying.
I thought it was to be the director of a school. The school that's not open, that doesn't even have a website. You understand how bad Umar Johnson would have been mollywopped in court by Lenon Honor's attorney? Because I'm sure Lenon Honor probably had to hire an attorney. They would have mollywopped Umar. And mind you, Umar filed this as pro.
I want to know what fucking judge even accepted this. I don't even think a judge would even accept this shit. How much did you pay that lawyer to go in there and get spanked like that? That lawyer must have charged him a lot to even put his neck out, stick his neck out like that. People would simply, motherfuckers like me and Lady Luck and anybody with common sense can see that this is frivolous. So why didn't the lawyer think that? He must have been like, all right, I'm going to take this frivolous ass case. You got to pay me double.
So he filed this without an attorney's help or advice or counsel or anything.
Oh, that's why. Okay, now it makes sense. He did it without an attorney. Okay, now this makes sense.
Because he thinks he knows it all. So I am here to laugh at you, Umar, because you're a clown. He slandered your business, whatever that is, grifting, and commit an act of slander against me. You have to prove whatever the slander is that is provably false and done with a reckless disregard for the truth. Because Umar doesn't understand how court works. As of right now, Lenon Honor is the main individual involved. Oh, God. Hundreds of people from the public can see the slander and harassment via the YouTube platform. First, he said, he said from my social media platforms. But now he says from the YouTube platforms.
Flip-flopping. This nigga flip-flopping. Oh, man.
Get the flip-flop shit on me.
You flip-flopping.
Get the flip-flop shit on me.
First he said it was from his platform. Now he said it's on you. Oh my God.
Hundreds of people. Who
Oh,
else
this
saw
is
what happened?
ridiculous.
Hundreds of people. Umar, you idiot. There are over 1 billion users on YouTube.
Fact.
How do you narrow down the people that saw this alleged copyright infringement? Because that part has not even been cleared up. Y'all, hit the one if you have hit the like button to this. I mean, who else is giving you this great breakdown right now?
This was
Shout
a
out
great
to Lenon
breakdown.
for being so brave and having to endure the bullshit of Umar Johnson. Oh my God. Yeah, hit that like button. 130 people watching. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Hit the one if you hit that like button. I'm not playing. I'm shaking the bushes today. This is unbelievable. Okay, hundreds of people from the public can see the slander. We can see the slander? Or do we hear the slander? Umar. Okay, because he's an idiot. Umar, slander is verbal. Libel is written. Do you understand that? You haven't proved that you own 500 videos.
Facts.
And you have to prove that the statements he made is actually false statements that you can prove with evidence to be false. You don't have a school. You have two bandos that somehow you've managed to clutter up, just like your mind and your brain, full of shit. This is ridiculous. Injuries.
No, I didn't see
because he doesn't know how court works. He didn't list any injuries. The relief. Injuries can also include damage. Okay. Whatever damage you cause, and not just medical. How were you damaged by this alleged slander and copyright infringement and, somehow you thinking you own YouTube? Y'all, this is insane. Let me zoom in. Relief. State to the court what you want the court to do for you and the amount of monetary compensation, if any, you are seeking and the basis for such compensation. I request that Lenon Honor's YouTube channel and videos be removed and that I be compensated for $5,000.
What? What? You better be careful there, little buddy. First of all, the courts I don't think the courts can remove your YouTube channel. First of all, you have to go to YouTube for that. Second of all, 5,000. Wow. This shit is ridiculous.
So 500 videos you claim you have copyright claim to own, like your original work.
You need 100 for each one.
500 videos. So what's that? $10 a video?
Yeah, $10. You need $10 for every video.
And he asking for $5,000. And the court cannot force YouTube to take down damage. No. Your complaint is against Lenon Honor.
Right. You can't take down the channel.
So you can't ask the court to have a third party who's not a third person who's not a party to the case to do anything. The court would not be able to order YouTube when YouTube is not a co-defendant to take down Lenon Honor's videos. If anything, let's just say someone has a valid claim because Umar does not. But let's say someone does have a valid claim and say that there's some sort of copyright infringement. Someone used their work, that they have proof that they can show that they have a copyright claim to, or they own the rights to that video, and someone uses it without their permission and doubles down on it and refuses to remove it. First, there's a process you have to go through with YouTube.
That's what I said.
Before you even think about filing a lawsuit to the court. Because the first thing the judge is going to ask, have you tried to remedy this outside of court? Did you go to YouTube and report the video? What did they say? So you have to show you had some attempt in trying to get some sort of resolution through YouTube because it's their platform.
Facts.
And if that were to occur and you had a valid claim, the only thing the judge will be able to do is order the defendant to remove their video. not order YouTube to remove it. That's the crazy part. This is how stupid Umar is when it comes to the law. He doesn't understand the law. He doesn't understand how court works or how to fill out a petition. So he wanted $5,000 and for the court to tell YouTube to take down Lenon Honor's videos in his channel. I declare under penalty of perjury that the foregoing is true and correct. May 18th, 2021, he scribbled his name, like a 2-year-old because reasons. And of course, he was pro se. None of this is filled out here for prisoners. All right, let's go to the next tab. You can't make this shit up, y'all. Oh, this is fun for me. I love reading these court documents. It's so juicy. Okay, so moving on to the next thing. What's up, Dr. CB? This is some shit. Why would you go to federal court for something about $5,000 when it needed to be a minimum of $75,000, Umar? Did you not pay attention to the instructions? Exactly. It should have went to small claims court. Tavares, you're absolutely correct. This is a small claims court matter.
6 degrees.
But it would have been dismissed because he can't prove that he owns the original work of 500 videos. And he's trying to tie in slander and harassment with copyright infringement. That's not how the law works.
Nope.
And that would have been dismissed. That motion to dismiss would have been epic.
Epic.
Y'all right now.
Epic.
Well, child, you can't make this shit up.
I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall to see that. I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall watching that shit.
Oh my God. So this should have went to small claims court.
Yep.
Because it doesn't meet the minimum requirement for it to go to a U.S. district court.
I was getting ready to say, well, isn't that a very small amount for a high level of court? For that level? Wouldn't that's a very small amount of money you asking for?
He didn't even ask for it.
I couldn't think of the word of what the smaller courts was. That's why I didn't say nothing. I was waiting to see if somebody else says something.
75,000. Even though he wouldn't have gotten it. He wouldn't have gotten it. He would have had, this case would have been dismissed anyway. It's so stupid. So as you all can see here, let me zoom in. This is an order. After the petition was filed, then of course, I think Lenon did a response of some sort, and naturally, the first thing, in civil proceedings like this is the motion to dismiss, right? You're invalidating it. You're saying this is stupid. Why is this case here? And I'm sure Lenon Honor had an attorney at some point to help him, respond to this. So let's go to the first page here. This is an order filed on May 27, 2021. Honestly, Lenon Honor didn't even have to get an attorney on this because it's so simple, but either way. This order says, and now this 29th day of May 2021, plaintiff Umar Johnson, having submitted a complaint to the court without either paying the fees, y'all look at this, without paying the fees, let me zoom in some more, because, he's a clown. Without paying the fees to commence a civil action or filing a motion to proceed in forma purportis, it is ordered that. Now, in forma purportis is saying, I, Your Honor, have either been incarcerated and I don't have money to be able to pay for court cost and I need a waiver, or basically I'm a pauper and I'm poor. I cannot afford the court costs due to these circumstances and situation, and you would have to present a financial affidavit. A financial affidavit would force him to disclose his income, expenses, any assets that he has. I mean, it goes down a whole list. You have to show the court that you are truly a pauper, which means that you're broke as hell. You have to prove that in your financial affidavit in your financial documents. So since he did not pay the court costs, which is, I don't know why they even file stamped that petition without the court cost fee being paid, nor did he file a petition asking the court to basically waive the court costs because, you know, you're raising all this money and you can't even pay the court costs, but you want to sue somebody claiming you got 500 videos that you have some sort of copyright claim to. Oh, and they're harassing and slandering you. 2 more claims you would not be able to prove. All that money raised and he couldn't pay the court costs. This goes to show that he doesn't even use the money to take care of business if that were true. If any of the claims that he made was remotely true.
I don't think no lawyer would have took that. I think he did that shit himself. Because the fact that he put slander and copyright together all in one, I don't think no lawyer took that. I think he did that shit himself.
Why would you not use the money from your book sales and your speaking events to pay the court costs? You claim you raised over $1.67 million. Why wouldn't you pay the $300-400 court cost of the filing fee? Look at this. It says here, it is ordered that if Johnson seeks to proceed with this case, he must within 30 days, they gave him 30 days, of the date of this order. So he had 30 days from May 29th, 2021 to either, 1, pay $402, comprising the $350 filing fee and the $52 administrative fee to the clerk of the court, or 2, file a motion to proceed in form of purportance. So they even gave him 30 days to make a decision. You're going to pay us $402, or you need to be filing a petition to proceed in form of purportance, to which he would have to hand over a financial affidavit. He would have to prove to the court he's broke. Because if that be the case, anyone can file a petition. You could be a millionaire filing a petition in form of purportance to say, I can't afford the fee. So that's why they make you prove your financials. They make you do a financial affidavit. And that affidavit is done under the penalty of perjury. Just like that petition we saw. He declared that those statements were true and ongoing under the penalty of perjury. And yet he wouldn't be able to prove that he's the original owner of 500 videos. So he lied to the court. Because he lies to the court and he doesn't even care. 2, the clerk of court shall provide Johnson with an appropriate non-prisoner application to proceed in form of purportance. So since he was not a prisoner, then it would be a non-prisoner application, meaning you're just saying you're broke, you can't afford it. You know, you didn't go to prison, or you weren't in prison, and you need to be, or you're not in prison currently.
Her breakdown is magnificent. She broke this show all the way down. I couldn't have did a better job. She definitely broke this down the way that needed to be broken down.
And you need to be able to get a waiver. Bearing the civil action number of this case, Johnson may use this form to seek leave to proceed in form of purportance if he cannot afford to pay the fees to commence this case. Johnson, number 3, Johnson is directed to show cause.
Wait, so
within 30 days.
Pay the fee. Wait, hold on. He couldn't pay the fee if he didn't do the case? What did I miss? Because I stepped out of the room to check on my kids. What?
Of the date of this order as to why this case should not be transferred to the District of Utah pursuant to 28 USC Statute 1406 due to improper venue. Now, what does that mean? That means that because the amount that he was asking for did not meet the minimum $75,000, you filed this complaint to the wrong damn court. Like you said, it should have been a small claims court. So they would have pushed it back to the correct venue either way. Y'all, he's a pauper.
He's just
Someone tell Umar, I know you're watching. I don't even need anybody to tell you this on my behalf from the Lady Luck Club. We all know that you're a pauper. You're broke. You have nowhere to live. You're an idiot and you don't know how laws work or how to navigate the courts. And whomever your attorneys are, they're filing slap suits. So that's indicative of the people that you keep around you, that you claim know the law. You can't make this stuff up.
Nope.
So when you guys see these little, numbers at the top, they correspond to a footnote here. So this number 1 here corresponds to this form is available on the court's website. It's a PDF. He would have had to go on there, put a little effort into it, and fill it out his damn self, because the court is not here to be your attorney or your secretary or anything. Number 2 is the footnote here at the bottom. Johnson, a resident of Delaware, filed this lawsuit against Lenon Honor, a resident of Utah, alleging that Honor violated the Copyright Act and the Digital Millennium Copyright Act by, and the footnote continues, by using over 500 videos without any written copyright permissions or licenses from Johnson's social media platforms. It appears that this conduct took place on the YouTube platform. Johnson also alleges that this conduct constituted slander and harassment. There's more here at the bottom. Let me read number 4 first. If Johnson fails to either pay the fee or seek leave to proceed in formal purporters in accordance with this order, his case may be dismissed without further notice for failure to prosecute.
It sounded like this nigga ain't had no money for the fee. That's what I'm hearing. Wasn't no money for the fee. That's what it sounded like to me.
Meaning failing to move forward with it. Do what the court has told you to do. Either pay the money or complete the informal purporters petition and get the hell on somewhere and sit out. So, quite personally, I would have asked for the court to dismiss with prejudice, so that this nonsense does not come back to any court.
Right.
Because this is obviously a frivolous petition. That is what Umar is good for. Filing frivolous petitions to the court.
Now, this is 3 cases that we've heard him being involved in, and he lost. But he claims he worked with lawyers. He testified. Then why is every case that we are able to pull up, you lost? You tried it with Marianne. You tried it with Lenon. You tried it with this school.
Frivolous petitions in bad faith. That's the quickest way to have your petitions be blackballed and dismissed with prejudice, so that you're not able to continue to abuse the courts filing frivolous petitions in bad faith. So good on the court for catching that. And this was signed by the court, R. Barclay Cirque, and this is the judge. So if you read further at the bottom, civil action suits or proceedings arising under any act of Congress relating to copyrights may be instituted in the district in which the defendant or his agent resides or may be found. So because Lenon Honor resides in the state of Utah, this would have had to go through a court in Utah.
Wait, he filed it in Delaware?
I don't know why he filed this. Why did he file this in the Eastern District? Oh, he filed it where he lived. He didn't file it where.
Oh my fucking God! I don't even want to hear this no more. You got to be the dumbest motherfucker on the planet. He filed it in Delaware. First of all, he ain't had the money to even do it. Not only was your complaint frivolous, you ain't had the money for it, and then you filed it in the wrong state. 6 degrees, y'all. 6 degrees, y'all. 6 degrees of idiocy. That's what I see. That's what I'm seeing. 6 degrees of idiocy. 6 degrees of doofus magoofus. That's what I'm seeing here. 6 degrees of doofus magoofus.
Lenon Honor lives.
And this is why I'm gonna stop this part, because I want to play a little bit of the videos that I want to play a little bit of some of the videos that Manny just sent me on his dissertation, I guess. Oh, when did Joker get an Iron Man suit? Oh, this is some shit my son was watching. Where's part 1 at? There it is.
Academy for what?
And this is a white dude. He said white dudes don't question. This look like a white dude to me. If I'm not mistaken, let me put it up full mass. That look like a white dude there. Oh, I'm blocking it. Hold on, let me see something. That look like a white dude to me. I don't know why he said white folks don't question it. That look like a white dude to me. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all see the white dude on the screen. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all see a white dude on the screen.
Don't worry, I'll wait.
That look like a white dude to me.
Well, I finally got a copy of Umar Johnson's dissertation. You probably know him as Dr. Umar. Hold on to that thought. At any rate, Dr. Umar has been running this scam involving the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy for, 10 years now. But it looks like he's going to lose his school within the next week or so. And so there's been a lot of banter about that on YouTube. More recently, his dissertation has surfaced, and that has raised serious questions about whether he should have received his doctorate
I forgot about
or
Mr.
not.
Judge too.
And after reading it, yeah, there are some serious problems with it. So serious, in fact, that I wouldn't have approved it if I was on the graduation committee. And in this video, I'll tell you why. Hello out there. I am trying to get through it.
With his powerful brainwaves cradled in the warmth of reasoning, it's time for Johnny Walker Dread to straighten you out on a thing or two. Emanating all the way from exciting Las Vegas, Oklahoma, it's the Johnny Walker Dread Show.
First, let me give a shout out to PhD Investigator for his insights, as well as Lenon Honor and JWIT for making this dissertation available. You can view their podcast about this dissertation by clicking in the link in the description below. One of the first things that I always look at is the references.
I like him.
I'm not interested in how many so much, but their overall quality. If you recall, Rashad Ritchie's were absolutely abysmal and were clearly just cited off of a listing provided during an online Google search. They included tons of magazine articles and online blog posts, like you would see in a middle school history class. A large number of them didn't even contain that which he was claiming in his arguments, while some were secondary sources that pointed to uncited and out-of-date primary sources. It was a total mess. Those issues don't seem to surface in Umar citations. Almost all entries are journal articles, and they're fairly timely, and that's good. However, as I mentioned in another video, a serious problem appears that I consider fatal. Whaley in 1993 published Self-Esteem, Cultural Identity, and Psychosocial Adjustment in African American Children. This is a pretty important paper when it comes to the whole subject of self-conceptualization amongst African American children. But Umar doesn't cite it. But, okay, an oversight. It shouldn't happen, but it does. But it gets worse. Much, much worse. There are 2 papers published prior to Umar's dissertation that are not only relevant, but overlap his own research almost completely. In 1995, Trustee Watts and Lim published Multidimensional Self-Concepts and Achievement in African American Middle School Students. And you'll notice that this is almost word for word the same title as Umar's. The relationship between self-concept and academic achievement in African American middle school students, a correlational study. Same topic, comparing self-concept to achievement, same population, African American middle school students. Their study included only grades 7 through 8, which we would call junior high. In 1996, Trustee Watts and Garvey House published Relationship Between Self-Concept and Achievement for African American Pre-Adolescents, where they extended their previous study to include grades 4, 5, and 6. Their results contradicted their previous study on grades 7 through 8, and that alone would make for intense discussion in Umar's dissertation. What grades did Umar study? Grades 5 through 8. But the title of his dissertation says middle school. Grade 5 is not typically middle school. In other words, Umar essentially covered the same ground as Trustee Watts, Lim, and Garvey House covered in their two studies. But Umar doesn't mention either of them in the references. He never cites them. At this point, if I'm on his graduate committee, I'm rejecting his dissertation. When you earn your doctorate, you are considered an expert on that topic, but he seems unaware of the 3 most relevant research studies on the topic. Now, I highly doubt that Umar overlooked those studies. So why would he ignore them? And that got me thinking that perhaps he used the same data source as those 2 studies, which would make his study almost completely derivative. Obviously, he cannot admit to that. If he rounded up his own participants, on the other hand, then one could argue at least that while his research is not innovative, it at least could serve as a replication study of the prior 2 studies. I don't think that's dissertation-level research, though. So, how did he get his data? Well, let's go see. Chapter 3 is the methods section, and he claims a total of 101 student participants, of which 53 were females and 46 were males, and you can tell right away that this isn't a mathematics dissertation. And the rest of the paragraph is even more ridiculous, but that'll wait for another video. Oh wait, I'm not a social scientist. Who am I to add 46 and 53 and note that it doesn't add to 101? But enough of that. Let's read on. And it says right here, as archival data were used, so he didn't form his own populations at all. He simply took existing data and analyzed it. Gee, I wonder whose studies provided that data. He says right here that archival data were obtained during the 2007-2008 academic school year and included report card grades, the harder SPPC inventories, and responses to 6 open-ended questions answered after completing the harder SPPC. But who questioned these students? If it was Umar, then this is not archival data. If it wasn't Umar, then who? I poured through the document, and I couldn't find mention of the data source anywhere. So there's no way to check Umar's claims. And for the record, I don't believe that anybody should get a doctorate using archival data. Part of the doctoral program is to prove that you can conduct research on your own. So you should have to show your graduate committee that you know how to form populations, administer studies to populations, get IRB approval, all those things. When you use archival data, you don't have to do those things. And so it makes it too easy. But that's just my opinion. A bit further down, it discusses these open-ended qualitative questions in more detail. But again, there isn't even a hint on who wrote the questions. And by the way, there are serious problems with these questions, which I will cover in my next video. The procedures section provides more clues. Evidently, it was one school in Philadelphia. Umar is from Philadelphia. He mentions that an examiner administered the questions, but doesn't tell us whether this examiner was a teacher, staff member, or himself. In the acknowledgement section, he mentions that Dr. Tamara Thomas Smith helped him secure the data. From where? Who knows? But again, Umar is writing this section as if he administered the study to a population of school children in Philadelphia, but that would require a high-level approval from an institutional review board. If this study was truly archival and Umar never disclosed the source of this data, under no circumstances should his graduate committee approve his dissertation. So what do I think happened? Well, I have no proof, But I think Umar had originally planned to make up a story that he had gone into a Philadelphia middle school and administered this study. All would have gone well, but at some point it became clear that he couldn't do that without getting IRB approval. And because this study involved student grades and discussions on their self-worth, that wouldn't have been easy. The IRB would have had little trouble sniffing out Umar's complete lack of preparation or outright fraud. So he changed his data source to archival, which would lower the IRB requirement to exempt. He still has to get IRB approval, but that would be far easier, and they would ask far fewer questions. After all, what are the chances that archival data on the very topic he wants to study is available from classrooms in the very city that he lives? Now, the other possibility that I mentioned before is that he got his data from the studies by trustee and colleagues, and he doesn't want to reveal that because it would open his research to too many questions. That would explain why he chose not to cite them. Could his data be legit? Well, maybe, but it's incumbent on the author to persuade the reader that his study has merit. Not citing the most relevant research and not citing the source of your data, that's not how it's done.
My bad, y'all. My bad. I missed the whole entire thing. God damn it. I missed the whole entire thing. I was getting my kids out the tub and giving them their food. But I'm going to play part 2 so I can catch some of this. I'll watch the first one when on my own time. Well, my bad, y'all. I got these kids. I'm trying to do both. I'm juggling both, y'all. That's why I was in and out. I was putting the kids in the tub, washing them up, and then giving them some food. My bad. All right. Now I'm down full focus. Now we can play part 2. Don't seem like I missed anything, though. So let's get into part 2.
Student participant. Time now for part 2 of my demolition of Umar Johnson's dissertation. We've had a lot of fun so far, and the fun continues. I've already generated some criticism. The complaints from Umar's fans are almost as stupid as Umar's dissertation, so I shrugged that off pretty easily. I mean,
who are you to criticize such a great man who has dedicated his life?
Hey, man, it's either y'all or the kids. It's either y'all or my kids. I mean, I'm going to choose my kids every time. I'm trying to juggle y'all both. Cut me some slack here, bro. Cut me some slack here. He said, Rim always neglecting us.
To building a Pan-African school for students with our money.
But then again, who are Umar's followers to criticize me, given that they're pretty dumb? Others like Mark Lamont Hill on Twitter raised valid points. For example, my claim about the rigor demanded of dissertation research is based on my experience conducting PhD research, and I often forget that this is a PsyD dissertation that we're analyzing. Guilty as charged. Although that doesn't let Umar off the hook, because his dissertation doesn't even meet whale shit standards.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie. Doing all juggling all this, man, does make me appreciate my wife a little bit more, and I'll see why. Because I'll be like, you at home all day. What you tired about? I've been home with these kids all goddamn day, and I can't wait to go back to work tomorrow. I've been home all goddamn day with these kids, and I can't wait to go back to work. Oh my God. Oh, they were driving me crazy. The reason why I had to put them in the tub is because they got into the goddamn markers. I don't know how the hell they got keep hiding these markers, and somehow they keep finding them. How come she got markers all over her hands? I'm like, God damn it, wash it off. Oh, never mind. You just got to fully get in the tub. First, I was just feeding them. She come in with markers all down her hand, blue marker looking like a little Smurf. Oh, God, I got to throw you in the tub. All right, everybody get in. Hey, all right, everybody got to get in the tub now. Woo, I can't wait to go back to work tomorrow. You don't have to apologize. No. Well, I just like to, I don't like neglecting my followers. I just want to let y'all know what was going on, why I left for a couple minutes.
Also, I said that in my opinion, dissertation research shouldn't be based on archival data. I agree with Mark that that is too strong of a statement, but I should add that I inserted a note saying that my comment didn't necessarily apply to all fields. But fair enough. So it's time. Let's get on with the show. Hello out there. I am trying to get through.
With his powerful brainwaves cradled in the warmth of reasoning, it's time for Johnny Walker Dread to straighten you out on a thing or two. Emanating all the way from exciting Las Vegas, Oklahoma, it's the Johnny Walker Dread.
When you know they up to something, they get too quiet. I got the door open, that's why I keep the one ear off. When they get too quiet, I don't hear no shuffling around. Hold on, wait a minute. They got too quiet. That's when I got to go check.
Show.
I spent quite some time in my last video, him and Han, over whether Umar used archival data for his study. Why the big to-do? Well, if Umar conducted a study on human subjects, but told the Institutional Review Board that it was archival, that would wipe out his dissertation. So, it's a big deal. Umar mentions numerous times that his study was purely archival. However, I felt that throughout the dissertation he talked about the study in a manner that made it seem that he did, in fact, conduct research on human subjects. Now, I'm going to back away from that claim. The source of his data seems to be Tamara Thomas Smith.
God damn, Tamara look good in the mug. Let me stop. Good Lord, Tamara. Do some research on me.
Who was an assistant principal at a school called, and I'm not making this up, Leslie Pinckney Hill Elementary School. Even though it's called an elementary school, it included grades 7 through 8, which jives exactly with the grades that Umar needed to conduct his study. Now, that school closed in 2009, so she moved on to another school, Sheridan West Academy, but that school didn't teach the grades that Umar covered in his study. Therefore, I suspect that the data was collected at Hill Elementary. And since the school closed in 2009, Umar couldn't have conducted his study on those students directly because he hadn't started his doctoral program yet. As such, Thomas Smith must have been the one that conducted the data collection, making the data used in Umar's study purely archival. Why did Thomas Smith collect this data? Who knows? I couldn't find it published anywhere. Umar claims that the data was collected during the 2007 to 2008 school year, which makes sense. She had already completed her EDD well before then, so it wasn't for that.
Maybe 2 of them.
Whatever the case, it appears that Thomas Smith had this data, and somehow Umar found out about it and asked if he could use it in his study. I guess. That's all I can do. This is why we identify our data sources.
Yeah, I saw what
we
you
shouldn't
said.
have to piece this together. By the way, my buddy Brian has reached out to Thomas Smith for clarification on this issue. I'll let you know how she responds, if she does. In the end, Umar had a very easy study to conduct. The IRB approval process would have been a snap. He wouldn't have had to create questionnaires, sanitize personal identities, arrange for survey administration, record the data, none of that. And in no way, shape, or form did he spend much time preparing a quality dissertation. Let's read a portion of Chapter 3. The sample of this archival study was comprised of 101 student participants. And yeah, he puts the word archival before study all the time. That also raised my suspicions. The sample included 53 female participants and 46 male participants. And as I noted before, 53 and 46 don't make 101.
Dummy.
The overwhelming majority of students identified their racial heritage as black, followed by African American. Okay. However, all participants would be correctly identified as African American. So some students claim to be black, but Umar is having none of that. If you consider yourself black, well, you're just wrong, and you get reclassified according to what he thinks you are. Gee, I wonder why we use checkboxes rather than open-ended responses for collecting demographic data. For example, a student might write Indian, but you don't know if that means American Indian or Asian Indian. Check boxes. They're a good idea. It goes on to say that 40% were Christians and just as many claimed no religion, which still leaves 20%. Were they Muslim? If 20% of your population is Muslim, that could have significant effects on your self-concept analysis. But Umar just leaves us guessing. What's missing in this paragraph? The number of special education students who can gum up the works in any educational study. In some states, this number can be very high. And guess which states have the highest percentages of special ed students? New York, Maine, and Pennsylvania. Where was this study conducted? Oh yeah, Philadelphia. According to Philadelphia School District, 15% of its students are classified as special ed, but 72% of those in the emotional support category, which is extremely pertinent to this study on relating self-concept to achievement, were black. In sum, a very sizable population of those in this study were likely special ed, with the overwhelming majority of those deemed in need of emotional support. Maybe. We can't know because Umar never bothered to run the numbers. The problem with archival data is that you can't always disaggregate it according to student disability categories. The students have long moved on. But Thomas Smith should have had access to such special education data. At the very least, I would have told Umar that he needed to acknowledge this problem in the limitations of the study section and hope to beat hell that the graduate committee still thinks the data is meaningful. So, one paragraph loaded with issues. Keep in mind, 5 people on his graduate committee were handed the responsibility of reviewing his dissertation before he defended. None of them apparently noticed these discrepancies, although they pop out with even a cursory glance. If you can't be bothered to even read the student's dissertation and provide feedback, then don't serve on a graduate committee. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not a social scientist. How dare I point out such potential factors? Only veteran social scientists can understand how being in an emotional support category of special ed could influence a student's self-worth and academic achievement. And if you ever have the misfortune of having me on your graduate advisory committee.
Yo, this dude Clips is crazy.
Just kidding. I'm actually a good dude who will work with you to make your dissertation something special, something that you can be proud of. The fact that I'm not a social scientist actually provides me with a perspective that you might need to hear. I find Appendix B interesting. It contains a questionnaire that was delivered to students to complete. By whom? We can only guess it's Tamara Thomas Smith. The first 2 questions are loaded. How has being black affected your performance in school? And how has being black affected the way you feel about yourself? Both questions presume that being black affects the respondents in their school performance or self-concept, which can bias the results. Besides, the central focus of this research was to question whether being black affects students in some way. These questions presume it. On top of that, question 5 asks, why do you think you do well or not do so well in school? But you've already planted the idea in question 1 that one reason is their skin color. Question 3 asks, what does being black...
I'm not going to lie, that does kind of plant the idea that because they're black, something is wrong. It does. I ain't even gonna lie, that does. In my mind, that would have too. If I'm a kid and I'm doing a survey and I'm asked that, I would kind of feel like you're suggesting that because I'm black, something's wrong in school. And that may be the case in some situations, but not all.
Mean to you? I don't think a middle schooler would know how to respond to that.
No, I wouldn't.
But, like, what does that even mean?
Yeah, I wouldn't know what that means.
Yes, creating valid and reliable open-ended questions is hard, but it's doctoral level research. It's not meant to be easy. Oh, you have to chuckle at the use of the word black, because as far as Umar is concerned, these kids are not black, they're African American. Black is incorrect. So is this questionnaire worth anything? No. The problems with the questions are simply too severe. But Umar will still cherry pick a few responses that meet his political worldview, but that's for another video. We're just beginning, so stay tuned for more videos on Umar's dissertation. Like my video and subscribe to my channel.
I know he got a couple more, and this is where I'm gonna stop this one at, because I gotta put these kids to bed. It's getting late. It's time to put these kids to bed. So that's what I'm gonna do. Wait a minute, Lady Luck is live.
The pro-Umar sector, in my opinion, is quite bizarre. Shout out to you, Black Anonymous. Thank you so much for sharing it. And now let's get to.
I'm gonna watch this Lady Luck. Yeah, I'm gonna stop this right now because Lady Luck is live, and I'm gonna let her do her thing. I'm gonna watch and see what she got going on. Maybe I can get some information off of that, and finish that off tomorrow. Like do a review on what she got to say, because I like her review. She's funny as hell. But this is why I'm gonna stop this at, family. I got to get back to these kids. So shout out to the chat. Shout out to everybody that stopped by. Like I said, the live stream is y'all who make these lives lit. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Make sure it's on all so you can be alerted and notified whenever I drop this heat. It's your boy, the one and only Brenda's baby, Remy L. My aunt. You were just tuned in to Rim Rum TV. I'll see y'all when I see y'all. Until then. What? You better be careful there, little buddy.
I've been out of my body, but I've been doing fine. I've been stacking my cash, I'm working overtime. Taking drugs, I told my twin go pull another line. I've been praying to my God that all my kidneys fine. Stacking money, stay ready, this life shit not a race. In the real nigga category when they nominate. Been a hustler since birth, I cannot just jog in place. Yeah, my aura's so big, it be hard to hide my face. Ain't no checking me, I'm super fly, ain't no catching me. I be trying to stay up on my grind, bad bitches testing me. Old friends getting mad, I leveled up, they ain't getting next to me. Some shit we don't get to choose, and this rap shit is my destiny. Pour it up and I sip, just spilled lean up on my kicks. Took a Canadian to the trench, she got out with different kind of stitch. I do shit that these niggas wish. Took a nigga bitch and fucked her in the whip. These niggas hating, I don't even trip. Dripping on a hater, I be seasick. Coming for it all, trying to get paid. Know I'm from the trenches, you ain't crime paid. Got a thing, got